Hello and good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the official start of the NRL Season 6 Saturday edition. Yesterday's broadcast was spectacularly opened by our Friday team of the awesome Toon, Slow-Mo and Leo with two exciting races, and now it's the turn of the Saturday drivers to open their accounts for this season. As per usual, our host lineup will consist of myself, Floor Genius Gaming, and tied to my hip are the fabulous duo of TKs and Tati. Firstly, good afternoon, TKs. How are you, and how excited are you ahead of today?
Oh, I am doing great, Flawed. Thanks for asking. And I mean, if last night was any indication of what to expect today, I mean, I am so excited. I was on the edge of my seat watching those races last night. Everyone did an excellent job, and I'm excited to see what these guys do for us today in the two races we have set for us.
Yeah, it certainly was a very intense encounter in both the division races last night. But secondly, Tati, great to have your company again. And how are you? And what are you looking out for the most today?
Hey, Flawed. Hey, TKs. I'm doing. Thank you. Today, I'm looking forward to race B, the Division B race, rather, which will come up first. I've been racing the RAV4 a lot with my friends, actually, on Comfort Softs. It is a fantastic car. I've not tried it on the sports tires, but I'm sure it's going to make some great racing. I hope the drivers enjoy it.
Surely too much grip then on the sports tires for you, then, Tati.
Maybe. It has this fantastic lift off oversteer that's so perfect. I'm afraid that the softer compound may have ruined that a little bit, but if the guys have figured out how to control it, which I mean, we have the best racers, I'm sure they'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm sure they are ready to go, and certainly looking forward to that race coming up. But before we get started, it's important to shout out our sponsors for the NRL Season 6, as without their support, none of this would be possible. So firstly, we are delighted to introduce Dumb Guys Do Racing. This high-octane weekly podcast is where four drivers from the PDX Sim team take you inside the world of motorsport and sim racing. From breaking news to heated debates, wild stories to pro tips, these guys cover it all with passion, humor, and just the right amount of chaos. For your podcast fix, these are available on all platforms, with new weekly episodes dropping every Monday. We are also sponsored by Henke's Tavern in the beautiful Old Town Florissant, St. Louis. Whether you're a local or just passing through, Henke's is the place with unbeatable food, cold drinks, and a patio perfect for catching the NRL in action. Just ask our Toon and Slow-Mo, they'll vouch for it. So grab some friends, head to Henke's, and tell them the NRL sent you. Open late till 1 a.m, because if you ain't first, you're still welcome at Henke's Tavern. We are also sponsored by Little J CPA, turning streams and side hustles into smart money moves. Whether you're building a small business, growing a brand, or cashing in on streaming income, we'll help you track earnings, maximize deductions, and keep more of what you've worked for. You focus on building, we handle the numbers. We are also sponsored by Lithograph Comics, a true comic book fanatic, historian, and lifelong collector. From epic pickups to rare grails, Lithograph Comics shares the passion and the journey with fans everywhere. Check out his collection and stories, and don't forget to scan the QR code to dive into his world. And we are also proud to introduce a writer by day and a Twitch streamer by night. Lawrence Brown, better known as Tusenbox, brings you the Mist Chronicles trilogy books. A swordsman turned wanderer as he's pulled into an epic struggle that could save or destroy the world. The trilogy is available now on Amazon in paperback and on Kindle. And once again, thank you to all our amazing sponsors for the whole of NRL Season 6. Now, I do believe we have a donation that's come through, and that is, tell us about that, T-Case.
Yes, that is from Spawn Black, $10 donation. Good luck to all competitors this season. Nadi and crew, thank you for the upcoming events for us all to watch and enjoy. Let's go, guys. Thank you very much for that donation.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's very, very kind, Dakara. And yeah, with all that nitty gritty now out of the way, shall we get things started, folks?
Yep.
Okay, so introducing our first race for today. It's round one of the Saturday Division B. So we're heading over to Japan for the tri-oval circuit of the Broadbean Raceway reverse layout. Track length is 1.04 miles, featuring just 5 corners in this heart-shaped bean layout. Starting off with a 5-minute qualifier ahead of a 58-lap race here. They'll be driving the Toyota RAV4 Adventure SUV in this 2-litre engine car, naturally aspirated with a 10-gear manual transmission, powering 168 brake horsepower to its 4 wheels. This is a bit of a tank, weighing in at 1,630 kilos, so don't expect it to be fast, and expect lots of body roll in the corners. It'll be a grid start for the drivers with a tyre wear set to ×8 and a fuel consumption rate at ×4. Speaking of fuel, there is a 5 litre a second refill rate with this very long pit lane we have at the raceway. The cars are set to its default stock settings with BOP enabled, with nothing to be changed. Tyres to be used are the Sports Hards and the Softs, with the Sports Hards set as mandatory. They will need to keep it away from the outside walls as damage is set to heavy. T-Case, can you explain to us the points format for this season?
Absolutely. We go base very similarly off the F1 model. So that's going to be your race winner getting 25 points, second place 18 points, 13th place 15 points, and that works all the way down to P10. So the top 10 drivers will get points, and a 1-point bonus will be awarded to the fastest lap. And then by the end of round 3, the top 14 overall division drivers will move on to the finals.
Thank you, T-Case. And Tati, if you can read us the driver lineup for this Saturday Division B race, please.
Sure thing. We should have a full race today, and viewers will notice that we've got folks YouTube and or Twitch on the right hand side of their name. Looks like today is all YouTubers, but you can check out their streams while they are driving, but please keep this stream open so you can stay up on all the action. Anyway, we have got Angry Fredbird today, BHR Johnny Boy, Caper, Digital Relay, Island Grom 777, Nuke, Old Man Pip, Pelias Pangolin, PHG Arrow, Racer DM, Root, RTS Bandit, SRP, Mr. Racing 40, and VIP Ace GT in the house, all representing various teams, also listed with their names.
And we got another donation while you were reading that, Tati. Thank you to DeCrawler, $4.99. Good luck, all competitors, and thank you, NRL crew, for taking the time to host and provide great races. Good luck today, DeCrawler, and thank you.
Thanks, Crawler.
Yeah, thanks, Crawler. And yeah, those are the details for today's Division B race. Very interesting circuit. Probably even more interesting car. TK's, what are your thoughts on this combo? And did you get to test out this RAV4 Adventure?
Yes, indeed. And much like Tati, this is right up my alley as well. Having a lot of fun. I tried it both on the softs and the hards. Some interesting stuff with this track and car. It's that final turn that you got to be careful about with the heavy damage on and the walls ever present. It's really easy, especially as you get towards the end of your stint, to just understeer right into the wall.
Yes, indeed. And yeah, Tati, speaking or continuing on from what TK said there. So obviously, yes, you tried the RAV4 Adventure. So what was your findings, and what kind of strategy do you reckon the drivers will do? Like what kind of philosophy will they have going into this race?
Well, I will say that the car is a ton of fun. Like you said, I did test it out. It's great to drive. So hopefully drivers took their practice seriously and didn't just toss this thing around. Um, BB Raceway is I refer to it as such an unserious track because it really is, right? Like it's shaped like a bee, like it's got this random kind of oval banked wall section and then random 90 degrees, and of course the bee is just ridiculous, right? So it's the whole combo to watch drivers take it seriously and really like figure out their strategy and how to drive this car are is fantastic to see. As far as um strategy goes for this car, I believe there's been talk of some people maybe doing like a no stopper on it. I don't think it's possible. I think we're going to see at least one stop, even with folks who take the racing hard tires. To T Case's point, once those start to wear out, that final corner really gets very sketchy. So I think people are going to want to go ahead and take a stop, change their tires out. I know the hard is the only mandatory tire, but I think it's going to come down to when folks stop. You can save fuel in this car. It's got 10 speeds, and so there's kind of power everywhere almost. It's not a lot of power. It's a very slow one, as you can see on the screen here. But you can save some fuel on it. I still don't think we're going to see the no stop.
Well, I guess we'll wait and see, but the times are coming in thick and fast. And as you can see on the timing board, we have got Root that has set the early pace with that pole position time of a 37 second point 048. So the times are going to be very, very close here with, as mentioned, just maybe one corner to really look out for, which is this one here. We'll see whether or not this slipstream will come into effect. But of course, these are the road cars, so the slipstream effect won't be as strong. But we look on board with Nuke now, or S7R Nuke, that is. Currently in P6 at the moment. Fastest lap time is a 37.248. He is got some pretty neat equipment, the Fanatec CSL DD wheel. He's already picked up 3 points from this season as he qualified high up for the Division B drivers. So off to a good start already. Down into P7 at the moment, though. This is a 5-minute quali, so a very, very quick quali with just 2 minutes remaining. But you know, TK, you're the man with the cam. So how's he looking out there so far?
It's looking good, and you know, you referred to the slipstream a little bit there. I think people are kind of using that. I'm seeing a bunch of clusters as I see Pelias Pango currently P5 has gone purple, and he is drafting behind Mr. Racing and Root. So seeing some drivers working together maybe a little bit, trying to maximize their pace around this, because you know, these cars don't have a lot of power, so they are having to carry as much momentum as possible, and having a driver in front of you to punch a hole in the air is definitely helpful.
Yes, indeed. And we have just got a donation just come through from Croatian, the legendary graphic designer we have here in the NRL. He's just donated US dollar $1999 donation, saying thank you to the drivers and the staff for putting on such a great broadcast. Let's go racing. Well, thank you so much for that kind donation. That will obviously go to the driver pool and everyone in production, so we fully appreciate it. Thank you so much, and thank you so much for all the hard work that you do in production as well, Croatian. But going back to the qualifying, because we are quite possibly in the last couple of laps here. So yes, RTS Bandit is on pole position. I did see Old Man Pip just put in a time there to go a little bit quicker into P10. They really don't want to be going side by side in qualifying here. Oh, as a Root gets put into the wall there. And yeah, tell us about that, Tati.
Well, I think we all just saw it, and I think that just came down to a little bit of understeer there. I mean, these drivers are trying to maximize these corner exits, right? Like that's all you can do. This is a momentum car. It's not very powerful, and I think, Mr. Racing might have just gotten his line a little bit long, or a little bit wrong there. Maybe clipped the apex a little bit too early. His exit was really shallow, and his trajectory was just towards the wall. Unfortunately, Root was just there. You know.
Yes, he was, unfortunately. As I've just seen, Angry Fredbird go on top of the timing charts with a 36.919, saving the best to last. So, yeah, get in there, Angry Fredbird, with his first pole position of the season. Well, it's the first race of the season, technically. But yeah, just by, what is it, 800th of a second over RTS Bandit in P2, Root in P3, both of them in the pit lane now. We're just awaiting the final drivers to come across the start-finish line, see if they can improve. But I think that may well be quali over, TKs.
Indeed, and I think we could hear everyone at Hanky's Tavern erupting in applause there with their local boy, Angry Fredbird, coming up with pole position. And we got another donation from someone you might know there, Flawed, Dana, with $10. Shout out to the commentary and NRL admin team. Good luck, drivers. Thank you so much for that donation.
Thanks, Dana.
Yeah, thanks so much, Dana. Too kind. And yes, that, you know, everyone at NRL are going to appreciate that. So thank you so much, Dana. But just to read out the qualifying results of the Saturday round 1 Division B, as we just mentioned, Angry Fredbird is going to start on pole position with that flying 36.919 time, 800ths quicker than RTS Bandit in P2, who will be starting alongside him on the front row. On row 2, we got Root with a 37.048, just 2,000th quicker than Digital Relay, who will be starting in P4. P5 will be the reigning Division B champion of BHR Plus, Pango, who set a 37.134. Then joining him alongside him will be S7R Nuke in P6. Then it's PHG Caper starting on row 4 in P7, 37.208, 6,000th quicker than S7R Nuke in P6. With Old Man Pip starting alongside him on row 4 with a 37.219. Then on row 5, we've got SRP Mr. Racing, of course, making his debut in the league phase. 37.237 for him. Island Grown will be starting alongside him with a 37.278. Then we've got PHG Arrow starting on row 6 in P11 with a 37.286. And then starting alongside him will be VIP Ace GT with a 37.461. And then finally on the last row, we've got Racer DM with a 37.521. And starting alongside him at the back of the grid is BHR Johnny Boy with a 37.723. Right, okay. So a very fast and frantic qualifying there, Tati. But what are your thoughts from that qualifying phase?
It is tight, and it's especially tight between specific drivers. Like you said, some folks, 2,000ths of a second quicker than the next person, but the whole field is separated by less than a second. I think it was the 36.9 was the top time, right? And I think I saw 37.2 at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hopefully we don't see too many more wall checks. It's not a hockey match, but BB Raceway is honestly probably the hockey arena of the Gran Turismo pantheon of racetracks. So we'll see. Hopefully no one ends up too much worse for the wear.
Oh, yeah, that is very true. And T-Case as well. So obviously, as mentioned, a very, very close grid. I mean, what are your thoughts? You think slipstream is going to be very important? Obviously, car positioning is going to be vital as well. But, what are your thoughts ahead of this race?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Definitely slipstream is going to play a part here. And it's going to be hard because the real overtaking spot is where we saw that little bit of a hip check into the wall for Root. That's really the place to overtake. So it's going to be interesting, especially once we start seeing tire wear, what's going to happen there if drivers are going to be able to go side by side without getting put into the wall. And while we were talking there, we did get another donation from our very own GT Slow-Mo for $20. Thank you very much, Slow-Mo. Go Fredbird. Cheers to everyone watching today. Excited to see these battles today. Proud team killing it as usual. The production team killing it. And Cyrus Nicky couldn't be outdone here with a $10 Canadian. This is going to be epic. GL drivers, go VIP. So we got a lot of people excited in the chat, viewing, watching, ready to go, and I can't wait to see what these drivers have in store for us.
You just got another one, Matthew Ballwork.
Oh my goodness.
Crazy in the chat.
Well, thank you all. Thank you.
Yeah, super kind, and we fully appreciate each and every one of you in chat. That is, whether you're just watching along or donating to the cause, we really appreciate you all, and we really hope that this is going to be a very exciting race, because if the times are anything to go by, then I think we've got one hell of a race in front of us. So we're just awaiting the drivers just to get ready for the start of this race, but yeah, certainly the anticipation is killing me right now. So yeah, we're just awaiting for them to get set on the grid, and I think we are ready to roll. So yes, Angry Fredbird with that storming lap, he's going to lead from the front as we await the red lights to start off the Saturday round 1 Division B. Lights are out and away we go, and they are a line astern in their 2 rows as we approach the first curve. RTS Bandit is going to take the inside line with Angry Fredbird on the outside, and in fact RTS Bandit gets a lightning start, pulls away with Root up the inside, and also Digital Relay up into P3 as well. Angry Fredbird down as far as P5 as we go through the left-hand kink for the very first time around the curve yet again, and Angry Fredbird does sweep in front of S7R Nuke to move back up into P4. S7R Nuke in P5, Polaris Pango in P6, Caper in P7, Racing DM in P8. But they are a line astern at the moment as they jostle for position. But Tatty, what a lightning start we've had here. Full of action, as also we have got side by side with Polaris Pango and S7R Nuke battling for that P5, but Pango gets the inside line to move up into P5, Nuke down into P6, but action galore at the start of this one, Tatty.
Oh yeah, that was a crazy launch by RTS Bandit. I actually don't know what happened to Fredbird. He was on pole and then he was 4th or 5th really, and he's still fighting for 5th. But I thought I saw somebody slam into the wall in the back. No one is out of the pack, it looks like, but I think somebody had a moment back there.
Well, I've done so, but Polaris Pango making moves at the moment. He's just launched himself up into 3rd position. Now, something I didn't really look at, TKs, was the tyres that the drivers are starting on. So Polaris Pango on the Sport Softs, but how are they looking out there? Is there a range of different tyres out there?
There is not. Polaris Pango the only driver on the softs, and that is how he has been able to propel himself into the top 3, and I have a feeling he's going to be in the lead by the end of next lap with the pace he has on these softs. We also saw their Bandit and Root kind of come together a little bit in that final turn on the last lap, and that's what dropped Root down, because he did get put into the wall a little bit.
Right, okay, thanks for clearing that one up, TKs. Yes, so I would imagine you're going to have to play the smart game here. Polaris Pango knows this, of course, Division B champion, or the reigning champion, should I say. So stick into Digital Relay's back bumper like glue, and I'm pretty sure that he will try to size up an opportunity when one presents itself, which it looks like now, because he's up the inside of Digital Relay to move into 2nd position with just Bandit in front of him. Well, he is already smelling blood, Tatty.
Oh yeah, Polaris Pango is trying to make his way through the pack and hopefully run away with it all, but everyone else will have a little bit of help with the slipstream behind him, kind of propelling each other towards him. It's almost going to have like a boost effect. Have you ever raced on the game with boost on?
I have, yes.
Yeah.
It's pretty insane. Yes.
Exactly. So like he's gonna get him front with those softs, and it's gonna be great. And on sheer pace, on braking, of course, and cornering, he will have an advantage. But there's so much of this, right? There's straights on BB Raceway and a lot of slipstream sections. It is going to effectively help the drivers behind him sort of keep him in line, because they'll have hopefully if they stay line and stern like this, they'll pick up a lot of speed for themselves.
Yes, indeed. And well, we are starting to see the grid bunch up a little bit, or at least form different packs. There's now Polaris Pango into the race lead in front of RTS Bandit. So already made his move and looking to pull away, but of course Bandit and co behind will have the advantage of that slipstream, so I'm sure he won't be able to peel away like he wants. But one thing I did notice actually, TKs, is Digital Relay is on the Sports hard tyres. So he's the first of the hard drivers, or the hard runners. I did see a few of the drivers just behind as well, who particularly towards the sort of rear end of the grid that were also on the hard tyres. So they will have to kind of work in tandem. They will have to work as a team to try to get the best result possible. Try to pull away from the hard runners, those that are on the soft tyres, and then of course the hard runners are going to have to work as a team as well, so they're not losing too much time. But yeah, certainly between the top 5 drivers, we are separated by 3.2 seconds. Now, one thing I have just noticed, there's a bit of a gap between Bandit and Polaris Pango, isn't there? I think, T-Case?
Yeah, there is, and that's the advantage of the softs. Pelias being the only driver on the softs, just running away with it. Everybody else being on the hards, and I have noticed few drivers do have damage now, so that wall is definitely punishing people. We got Angry Fredbird with front left damage, as well as VIP Ace, and I know that VIP Ace also picked up a 1.5 second penalty with his damage, which he has already served, so he has fallen back quite a bit. He's almost 13 seconds off the lead there in the back, as we see Root trying to battle it out there with S7R Nuke.
Yes, indeed, with SRP Mr. Racing just behind as well. Yeah, so that was a PHG currently in P5, but yeah, certainly a bit of a ding-dong battle between the trio, but they are starting to catch up with Nuke, and of course Nuke on the back of this battle between Digital Relay and Bandit, as Digital Relay takes up the inside line and propels himself up into P2, but Bandit is still there as they come through the left-hand kink back to the right. Digital Relay is going to take it with Nuke going up the inside, flying past RTS Bandit, moves up into P3, and yeah, they're definitely bunching up now, because we've got Bandit who was side by side with, I think, Caper, but Caper moves up into P4, Roots up to P5, and Mr. Racing in P6 now. RTS Bandit in 2 corners has lost that on 4 positions, Tattoo.
Yeah, this is getting good. I mean, this is like classic slipstream race, right? You're not seeing a whole bunch of like crazy moves and dives, but just pure momentum, better angles out of corners. Yeah, I love it. That's it. That's all I have to say.
No, that's a fair enough assumption. I mean, it's very exciting. It's hard to really know what is going on at this stage. The only thing we can really go by is the tyres that the drivers have started on. But certainly the race is flying by right now. We're already on lap 12 of 58. So this is going to fly by very, very quickly. But certainly someone that is flying is BHR Polaris Pango in the race lead. He has a 6.3 second lead over his nearest rival Digital Relay in second position, and he's just at this stage just running away with it. Now, of course, we do know he's on the sports soft tires. Now, I did do a little bit of practice, and it is to believe that you can run the tires down, as long as obviously it's not completely bald. You can get roughly about 25 laps on the softs. And then of course with the fuel tank, you're not going to get the full race length. It is believed to be in the region of about 35 to 40 laps worth of fuel. So So yeah, it's definitely going to be, well, I'm pretty sure. I mean, Fishtail kind of fooled us all really in yesterday's race, where we didn't think it was possible to do a no stopper. But I really can't see a no stopper in this one, TKs.
Yeah, I don't see it either. There, like Tati had alluded to, there are different ways to save fuel on this, whether it's short shifting, using those higher gears. But from what I've seen, pretty much everybody's approaching that half a tank. Some have a little bit more. Maybe they haven't been revving it out quite as much, but it's looking like everybody's gonna have to come in for at least fuel. Now, maybe drivers try to save a little time and don't change to the softs, and they just keep their hard tires on. But we'll see, as it looks like Digital Relay got a nice little bump there from Nuke. And that's another way these drivers can work together to pull away from those behind. But Caper definitely using the slipstream behind Nuke, gaining an advantage there.
Yes, indeed. And certainly just looking on board, particularly with the PIP we've got on the side there, it seems like we've got quite a few battles going on circuit, and the positions are changing in an instant, and so, something I didn't envisage. Arrow now up into P8, Root obviously all the way down into P6. Digital Relay, of course, is leading the train of the trio, with S7R Nuke just staying in front of PHG Caper, but Caper does have the inside line for the next curbing. However, of course, because this is a tri-oval, of course, the upper line tends to be the faster line, but someone that's having a bit of a nightmare is VIP HGT down into P13 with a front aero damage as well. So that is going to be hurting the aero of that car, particularly as you know, it's a car that doesn't really like to turn. So he's going to be he's going to be losing a lot through the corners, and certainly just dropping back from old man Pip, who finds himself in 12th position. HGT, of course, is sorry, Tati, what was that? Sorry.
Saying Bandit's in the pits.
Yeah, I want to point out something on that. With Bandit in the pits, he ended up with some severe front end damage, which I believe forced him to go ahead and come into the pits. He switched over to the softs, added some fuel, got the damage repaired, but now has a 1.5 second penalty as well. So kind of went from bad to worse there for Bandit.
Redbird penalty that he just served as well, by the way.
And then we got side by side, and Island Grown originally took that position away from Johnny Boy. Is he going to attempt the cutback as they go side by side down the straight? And it looks like Johnny Boy is going to get the overspeed to move back up into P9 in front of the Canadian of Island Grown. But with this kind of battling, maybe losing touch to Racer DM in 8th position. The gap is about 8.5 tenths of a second. So really don't want to be losing that toe. Otherwise, you know, they're going to be losing time to the cars behind, and you know, they could fall back several positions if they're not careful. But yeah, certainly a race that is turning on its head at the minute. The positioning of P5 and P6, Mr. Racing in P5, Root in P6. There is a little bit of a gap between these drivers, but they're just about in that slipstream range. But, you know, TK, how do you think the race is unfolding right now?
You know, it's kind of all over the place. We're seeing drivers really using that momentum, and we're just seeing how quickly one mistake can have you fall back several positions, and then you got to claw your way back up. So I'm kind of surprised at the shakeup we have here. I wasn't expecting that. I felt people would hold their position a little bit better, but you know, nobody in the top three started in the top three. So it's very interesting to see Pelias Pango 14 seconds ahead. We got a solid battle for P3 between Caper and Nuke, and it looks like the battling between them has allowed Mr. Racing and even Root to catch up. So the more they battle, the more they come, and this is great. But I suspect we see Pelias Pango go into pits here shortly.
Yeah, there's barely anything on that front left tyre of his, but he has developed nearly a 15-second gap to his nearest rival. Now, when I was doing testing, the hard tyres, yes, they're not as grippy, but the time difference wasn't like massive though. You know, we're talking typically maybe 8 or 9 tenths of a second between the hards and the soft tyres. But yeah, Elias Pango's just been focusing forwards and not looking back and just getting on with things. And yeah, unfortunately, with the drivers behind, looks like they were battling a little bit and losing quite a chunk of time, I think, Tassie.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see so much battling somewhat quote unquote early in the race. I mean, it's a short race, but we are pretty early in the race, and so, you know, doing all this fighting when slipstream is so vital and when clean laps are so vital has been very interesting. Though I suspect some of it's not been battling so much as, you know, someone's momentum carries them side by side with someone else, and they're like, well, I'm not going to hit the brakes. This is a momentum car. But yeah, we're starting to see a lot of separation in the field. We do still have some packs, and some packs that could form, like these drivers behind fourth here, Root, Arrow, and I think that's Racer DM back there. They can easily catch up to Mr. Racing and Nuke here again, should anything happen. Ooh, Police Pango in, leaders in.
Yep, the leader is in with 21 litres of fuel still in the tank, but clearly them soft tyres have run its course. So yeah, Police Pango is going to be interesting what tyres he uses, but I do suspect it will be the hards because that is the mandatory tyre. So Digital Relay is going to inherit the race lead for the time being. He's of course on his sports hard run at the moment, so he's got a 2.3 second lead over his nearest rival S7R Nuke. So quite surprised like how the gaps have formed between them two drivers, and as we was mentioning, yeah, SRP Mr. Racing now up into P3 with Root in P4, PHG Arrow in P5, PHG Caper in P6, Racer DM in P7, and BHR Johnny Boy in 8th position. But yeah, certainly someone that I've noticed that has dropped quite far down the grid, considering he started on pole position, is Angry Fredbird. Now, TK, you've got the spare camera there. Whereabouts is he positioned at the moment?
Yeah, he's currently in P11, and the big thing for Fredbird is he has front left damage, so both on the arrow and the wheel there. So that's definitely hindering him, but he's been able to battle out pretty good with some of these guys, but currently sitting 1.3 seconds behind Old Man Pip and just under a second ahead of VIP Ace, who also has similar damage. And I did see Polias Pango filled his tank all the way up and put on these sports hard tires coming out of the pits.
Right. By the way, had also picked up like a 1.5 second penalty when we last saw him on camera. That's when I saw him going down the order into P11. So whatever caused the damage, it also caused him a lot of time at moments. Yeah.
I would imagine that probably was what, hitting the wall, was it? I would imagine.
Yeah, that it seems like if you get damage, you are also getting a penalty, and maybe vice versa.
Okay, so yeah, things are starting to change a little bit here. Of course, we're getting into that window now where a lot of the drivers are probably thinking about making a pit stop, or, you know, may have already taken their pit stop. So we could see a big change in this race. But so one thing that we you know, can see right now is PHG Caper, who's all over the back bumper of PHG Arrow. Both of them have been having a solid race up until now. It does look like both of them, you know, of course as well, TK, you'll know them very, very well, being PHG drivers. So it looks like they're working as a team to really maximize the speed and minimize time lost as well. But yeah, pretty solid from them so far.
Indeed, yeah, I am very much in touch with the PHG crew, being a part of being a part of that team, and they definitely practice together. I saw them practicing together, and I wouldn't be surprised if they don't work hard together to try to make up a few positions. And I do want to point out there, Pelias Pango in P13 came out with clean air. He's got about a 14-second gap ahead and 16-second gap behind there in P13.
Okay, Racer DM just coming into the pits to come off of them hard tyres with not much fuel, and it looks like we're getting an opportunity made. Oh, sorry, he's getting unlapped. Sorry, it's RTS Bandit from the back of the grid who's just unlapped himself from BHR Johnny Boy, looking to make up for lost time then. It looks like Bandit is really peeling or streaking away right now. I think he's on the soft tyres, which would make sense. Whilst Johnny Boy just maybe saving a little bit of fuel, trying to preserve them racing hard tyres. But I would imagine that the pit stop is coming in imminently, I think, Tessie.
Yeah, more than likely, because what I heard was, most people on the hards would be running about 25 laps, 35 laps rather. So we're at lap 30, and we should be seeing some of those come in soon. That's a lot of damage there on whoever that was. Oh, Old Man Pip, got it. I like on Johnny Boy's car, the back of it, the warning, I'm driving on controller, which I guess is kind of a play on the fact that a lot of SUVs are family cars. It's like, warning, baby on board. I love that. That's cute.
Indeed. And Racer DM went into the pits. He's now come out in P14. Root in the pits currently. He only had 2% of fuel left when he got in the pits. VIP Ace also in the pits with no fuel. Root's coming out now, currently looking like he should stay P13 on the softs. So we got a lot of blue flags waving out there. We got lap traffic, so things are about to get really interesting.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, it's certainly things are shaking up on a lap-to-lap basis now as Root rejoins in P13. But yeah, I'm a little bit surprised though by as it looks like Root is got a good run on Island Grown actually, as he takes up that inside line on of course fresher tires. But something that really surprised me though was the likes of Ace GT and Co, where they had a bit of damage, but they didn't decide to then pit early to repair the damage. They just kind of lived with that damage. Surely they would have been losing a fair chunk of time, but perhaps devoted to that one-stop strategy and didn't want to jeopardize their original strategy, T-Case.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. Just sticking with it. They really aren't losing that much time. I watched Angry Fredbird. He was able to overtake a couple people at one point. So it's more the penalties that have been hurting them than the damage. But I am looking at Angry Fredbird. He's still got several laps of fuel left. His tires look good. So I think with the damage, he decided, hey, I'm going to take it a little bit easier. Maybe do some fuel saving, go long, and see if I can't come out better on the other side.
Okay, well, we got side-by-side action with Caper and Arrow, both of PHG. Caper looks like has taken that position, or in fact, I think he just stayed in front of PHG Arrow for P4. No, they swapped positions. They've swapped positions, yeah. So Arrow originally in P4, Caper closely following behind. And as we look on board with the replay, it looks like Arrow scraped the wall, okay, and picks up front aero damage to boot. So that is very, very costly for him, Tessie.
Maybe not so costly. It is. We're in the pit window for the hards. So he's probably going to jump in. I mean, actually, yes, it's going to add some seconds to his pit stop. So yes, costly in that case, but it shouldn't cost him that much time on track. But I don't think he's going to be running with that damage too long.
Yeah, well, yeah, in the grand scheme of things, maybe not. However, I'm looking at it from the perspective of he was work. Oh, then we got Spinner in the background. And that was Digital Relay, I do believe. It is the relay. The of Digital Relay. We saw him just in the background. I don't know why he was on that side of the circuit. Was he trying to get into the pit lane, or was he nudged? I think he may have been nudged there and into the wall, picks up damage, 1.5 second penalty, and also losing so much time as well. And looks like he's getting pushed into the pit lane, although he did need to change tires anyways. But yeah, TKs, what are your thoughts on that one?
I saw exactly what happened. So what was happening was there was a lap marker. VIP Ace was in between Digital Relay and P2. Digital Relay, being on the outside, tries to cut into the pits and ends up getting clipped by Ace, the back marker. So Ace was on the inside and Digital Relay was trying to get into the pits and unfortunately made contact there, cutting across the track.
So sorry.
Yeah, that is certainly got hurt there. I mean, he was running in P2 at the time. Yes, of course, he did need to change onto new boots and maybe put a splash of fuel in and stuff, but that has cost him dearly. And, well, you know, I know accidents do happen, but yeah, he's not going to be feeling good about himself there, and perhaps even, was it Ace GT, wasn't it? So, yeah, this is what happens as Angry Fredberg comes into the pits from third position. In fact, the top 3 drivers all coming in with no fuel and changing off of them hard tires. So things are definitely going to get shaken up now as we look on board with BHR. Police Pango currently in 4th, but he will inherit the race lead. I do believe it's a very, very long pit lane here at the Broadbean Raceway in its reverse layout. And yes, he inherits the lead by 5.6 seconds over S7R Nuke, who inherits second, with Mr. Racing up into P3 now. PHG Caper looks like he's getting released into P5, I do believe. So that means Root will get promoted into P4. And yeah, so a big change up in the grid here, Tessie.
Yeah, I mean, I knew that the pit stops would bring a lot of shuffle and a lot of changes, of course, because you got folks on different tire compounds and therefore different strategies. Folks who pitted early and had clean air might come out in dirty air, but we have seen some unfortunate events also play out, right? Like that spin there, that was awful, of course, for Digital Relay, who's been running really, really well in this race. So now that most people have pitted, I don't know if anyone still owes us a pit stop. I'm interested to see how this race settles for its last leg.
Yes, indeed. Well, I mean, we're looking aboard with PHG Arrow, who is duking it out with a PHG Caper for that 5th position, but it does look like there are definitely gaps in the grid now. So it is very important in the final 19 laps of this race for these two to start working together to try to catch up to the top 4 drivers. They are, well, if we look on board with PHG Arrow, he is 12.7 seconds down on the race leader. Now, we do know with Police Pango, he is running the hard tires, so you will expect the sports soft tires to be running faster, therefore closing that gap. Can Police Pango hold on to the race lead? That is the question. The last time we looked, Police Pango had a 5.5 second lead over S7R Nuke. I do wonder, TKs, is that gap closing?
Oh, it's closing fast. It's down, almost down to 2 seconds. Nuke is applying the pressure, showing off what those softs can do, and he's just reeling him in. And it's not too far behind him is Mr. Racing. I did note Root may have to do 2 stops. We've already seen RTS Bandit had to do 2 stops. Root was one of the first people to pit after Bandit, and he's showing a lot of wear on his front left on those sports softs. So might not work out, or he may be able to make him last to the end, but we are definitely going to see a battle for the lead take place here at the next lap or 2.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the gap has now dwindled down to beneath a second now. So I do suspect that Police Pango is going to be a sitting duck in maybe this lap or the next. The gap is really coming down. It looks like that slipstream is in full effect right now with the softer of the compounds as well, the sport soft tires that Nuke is using right now, and it goes a little bit sideways but gets better traction. Police Pango on the outside, but it looks like S79 Nuke has got the overspeed now, and it's just a matter of time that he will take that race lead away from BHR Police Pango and become the new race leader of the race, Tati.
Yep, that was predictable. The delta between the two tires is almost a second a lap, like 0.8, 0.9, something like that at their optimum range. So even, I think we were looking at PhD Arrow, I think it was, who was 12.7 seconds back. Even Arrow, if he maintains pace to the end of this race, will pass Polias Pango, just because that's what the delta is. So Polias is really on a mission now to hang on to as many positions as he can, and whether that means actively defending if possible, then that's one way that he might do it. I think for now he's just sort of got to maintain what speed that he can, slow the cars behind him down if he can as well, and know when to just not fight it like he did before he was there.
Okay, well, yeah, I mean, as you just mentioned, Tati, Mr. Racing with that superior grip and that speed now has propelled himself up into second position. Literally nothing Polias Pango could do. And yeah, TKs, I've got to ask the question then. Are you surprised that Polias Pango started on the softs?
Yeah, I am. Typically we see people want to get rid of the slower tire, especially he wasn't starting at the front. So I wouldn't have been surprised if maybe Fredbird started on the soft, something like that. You're out in the lead, but I guess he felt like he wanted to make up as much ground as possible there at the beginning. And now it's just going to be a matter of damage control as he continues. And it looks like he's going to lose another position as he signals for Root to go ahead, slide through. He knows they're on different strategies. Root goes in nice and clean, and Polias Pango now going to try to hold on to P4.
Well, there is a sizable gap between Pango and PhD Caper for P4 and 5 respectively, but we did mention that the difference in time between the hards and the softs is, I'd say, up to a second. But really dependent on whether or not they're carrying enough fuel as well, and something we can't really see in the commentary booth right now is we've only got that little diagram in the bottom left hand corner. So some people may have overfilled it to really like maximize the power out of the car, and some may be doing a little bit of fuel saving, maybe relying on the slipstream in front. But certainly at the moment we still got a battle on for P7 Digital Relay, who of course had that nasty moment towards the end of his first stint. Currently in P7, he's got Johnny Boy for company just behind him, and then Island Grown at the back of this trio. So I do wonder whether or not Digital Relay can hold on to this P7 with two cars bearing down on him right here, Tati.
Well, he obviously has the pace to be up front and stay up front, so I think right now he's doing a good job of holding him back. I don't know what his tire wear looks like in comparison to Johnny Boy and certainly Island Grown. Island had a moment just a little bit ago, but he has been using the slipstream to his advantage to stay in this battle, and I think will be right on the back of Johnny Boy again. Looks like the tires aren't too dissimilar between Johnny and Digital Relay. But maybe Johnny is also holding back so that they can try and catch up with 6th place and above. There's still a good 10 laps left to go in this race. They're going to go by quickly, but there's a chance that you could be battling for 6 instead of just for 7 if you just stay patient.
Well, Johnny Boy got as close as you like to Digital Relay in the background there, so they could be swapping positions, although it did look like, just looking at the timing boards, that Island Grown has gone in front to move just behind Digital Relay. So certainly a ding-dong battle between the trio there, but we are looking on board with Root in P3, who is not too far behind Mr. Racing. About half a second is the difference, but it does look like Nuke has got a sizable lead right now. So again, this is what I keep saying about the kind of playing as a team really, where maybe Root, what I would be doing is trying to catch up with Mr. Racing and then pushing him along to close that deficit. So we'll.
I think he has to watch his front.
Oh, yes, and something that was just pointed out to me. Yes, he's got nothing left on that front left tyre, and I should have seen that. So Root, with 7 laps to go, I don't think he's going to be able to hang on to this car, T-Case.
No, I don't think so either. That's kind of what I alluded to earlier, was thinking Root may have to make a two-stopper out of this because he just pit way too early on that first stint. Not surprised to see it go. I'll be more surprised if he takes it all the way to the end.
I don't know. I'd probably take the gamble. The pit lane is long here, and I'm sitting in third. I've got 2.5 seconds of the car behind me. They're catching fast, sure. But sure, maybe I lose 1 position, maybe I lose 2. I don't know how close Fly's Pango is to Arrow. Root wouldn't have any idea. Take it slow, sacrifice those right-handers, unfortunately, and see what you can come home with. I mean, you're going to lose the positions anyway if you go pit. All you have to do is keep it out of the wall. That's going to be the hard part. Don't make it worse than it already is by picking up damage or a penalty.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm seeing a bunch of drivers now struggling with that front left. Not as bad as Root is, but it's gonna get real slidey. Yep, there you go.
He's hit the wall. Is he picks up damage or is he okay? I don't know, but he's okay, but he's really struggling right now. There was evidence of it with him just losing all kind of traction around the sharp corners and just grazing the wall. Lucky not to pick up damage there, but yeah, certainly he's going to hinder his confidence in the final 5 laps of this race. Can the rest of the drivers behind catch up with him? Police Pango is down in P6, but at this stage, even his sports hard tires are going to be quicker than Root's completely dead soft tires. So I just see him scrape the wall there again, but he gets away with it for the time being. We're on board with Bandit P13. 6.2 seconds is the gap between him and racer DM. He has got the slipstream of PHG Arrow that is pulling him along. But I mean, to be honest, I think from this position, maybe conceding the fact that P13 is all he can get here. But we'll see. We'll see. Stranger things do happen, of course. But yeah, TK's just looking at the grid at the moment. We're in the final embers of the race. Looks like Nuke has got quite a comfortable margin for the race victory, I think.
Yes, indeed. He did have the lowest fuel of anybody, but I think he has planned it perfectly. And now we might actually see, there's enough laps left. We might actually see Polias Pango make up some of the positions he lost, because I was just watching the battle for P8, which has kind of subsided, and Island Grown, his tires look just as bad as Root's, and he has given up the position to Johnny Boy for P8. So we're seeing some differences in tire wear and fuel. I want to go check Nuke real quick, and Nuke is running low on fuel, but he's not any worse than Arrow is at the moment.
Yeah, and Arrow is, it looks like he's going to take Root's position to move up into P4. Something I did notice as well, they got very close, door to door there, but something I did notice was Mr. Racing's tyres looks pretty worse for wear. We have got 3 laps remaining. Is them tyres going to last the duration of the rest of the race? Who knows? It's getting definitely close for comfort, but yeah, you can see the gap now is extending between PHG, Arrow and Root, and I don't believe Police Pango is too far behind Root in P6, but yeah, looking aboard with Caper, the gap is 1.4 seconds. It is coming down at this stage, but is it too little too late? We will have to wait and see. Caberside is not looking too great either, but actually look at the gap. It is coming down. It is within a second now. So things are certainly going to be nip and tuck for this final lap, Tatty.
Yes, it will. I don't know if he's close enough. I mean, Mr. Racing seems to have it pretty well in hand here, but it only takes one corner, and this is not a car that you can just power out of a mistake with. But I think we're done here. Just a couple more corners left for the two. I think that was Caper giving the flash to Mr. Racing. Well done, good race. Um, or maybe he's just on the controller. I don't know. That's what that
In
looked like to me.
Indeed. Well, S7R Nuke comes across the checkered line to win round one of Division B, Season 6 of the NRL, with SRP Mr. Racing coming across the line to finish his second, and PSG Caper comes across the line in third, with Arrow just coming across the line now in P4. Police Pango did move up into P5 with Digital Relay in P6, Johnny Boy in P7, Root down into P8, and our pole sitter from Quali finishes in P9, Angry Fredbird that is, with Old Man Pip P11 just behind Island Grown, and Racer DM P12 and RTS Bandit in 13th position. What a fantastic opening round in Division B we've just had here. But before I get the thoughts of TK's and Tatty, I will read you the provisional race results. So great victory there for S7R Nuke for his first win of the season. He finished 5.4 seconds up the road from second place finisher SRP Mr. Racing. Then on the last step of the podium, we had PHG Caper just half a second down on Mr. Racing. In P4, we had PHG Arrow. P5, we had BHR Polias Pango. In 6th, we had Digital Relay. 7th, BHR Johnny Boy. 8th was Root. In 9th position, we had Angry Fredbird, and a top 10 finish of Island Grown. P11 went to Old Man Pip, and 12th went to Racer DM. RTS Bandit occupied 13th position, and the DNF from VIP Ace GT rounds up the grid for round one in Division B, Season 6 of the NRL. So, what a fantastic race we had there. I did actually see the fastest lap from a driver, but I think he was outside of the top 10, so he won't get points for that one. But Tassie, what an enthralling race we just witnessed there. What are your thoughts on it?
It didn't disappoint at all. Great car, great track combination. Not something that you see in league racing, really. I mean, like I said, BB Raceway Broadbean is so unserious. Like nobody would think to put this in a league schedule except McNaughty, and it worked out great. We saw lots of changes in position, strategy played out. Mistakes really hurt you, and you saw, just good racecraft and cooperation. Nuke put on an absolutely clinical win. Go team S7R. I'm happy with it.
Yeah, it certainly was a great opening race in Division B. But TKs, was you quite surprised with the way that this race unfolded? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. I wanted to point out Root ran out of fuel there at the end, and that is why he dropped about 4 positions to come across the line. So fuel definitely playing a factor. And then our podium, none of those drivers started in the top 5. They started 6th, 7th, and then Mr. Racing was out of the top 8. So to see those drivers move through the field at a race that, we kind of thought was just going to be single file, really gave us and the viewers something great to watch. So great job to all the racers. That was fantastic.
Yeah, it really was fantastic. And we can't wait to get the thoughts of the top 3 drivers. So we are going to go into the interview. Oh, sorry. We will get the thoughts of the top 3 drivers very, very shortly. But yeah, it was a very interesting race, and certainly the way that the strategy played out. Not having enough fuel. Not having the tires as well. So, I mean, TK, do you think that maybe things changed because of the race scenario, or was it just a case of just kind of forgetting their strategies a little bit?
No, I think it was all adaptation. I think some drivers refused to adapt, and that hurt them, and other drivers maybe adapted incorrectly, and that that hurt them. We saw RTS Bandit forced to do a two stop because of that heavy damage he picked up early on, forcing him to pit early. So that was an adaptation he had to make. He didn't finish last because we did get VIP HGT did not finish. And then somebody surprising here, Old Man Pip is the one who got fastest lap with a 37.02, so he won't get the points for it. But yeah, it's just it was really all over the place, and I think some drivers made some mistakes in there, others capitalized on the mistakes made by others, and really allowed a lot of movement within the field. And then we had the lap traffic on top of that, which is what happened with digital relay getting caught up in the lap traffic trying to pit. That threw a whole nother wrench in it. I don't think most of the practice lobbies I saw were pretty small, so you really weren't running into that lap traffic as much as it is when you have a full grid like that. So I think there were definitely a bunch of issues that took people by surprise.
Well, just following on from what you said there, TK, about digital relay. So just throwing the question over to you, Tassie. Now, of course, we will never really know now, but he digital relay. He was running very high up the grid order in P2, I do believe. So do you think he would have had the pace to really carry it on to the checkered line and claim himself a podium?
I think so. I think he was really worried about maybe losing his place. I think he was relying on slipstream like a lot of drivers were, and it's a short racetrack, right? So if you miss your pit window, if you forget to pit and you do it one lap late, it's not gonna hurt you that much. You're not gonna lose that much time. I think he saw that he was going to miss his pit lane, panicked, didn't look at the radar, maybe didn't have radar up. I don't know what happened, and just didn't realize that there was a car there. Maybe because he was thinking, I want to come out either in clean air, or I want to come out where I know I'll have a driving partner. And unfortunately for himself there, he just didn't do what he needed to do to make sure he didn't mess that pit stop up. Um, yeah, and
Yeah.
I think to your point about the lap traffic being a surprise, yes, 100%. I don't think anyone could have anticipated that, TKs.
Right. Well, I guess we'll find out the thoughts of the drivers in who occupied the top three. That is. So we have got some of them readied up. So we're going to come to S7R Nuke. And I've got to say a big congratulations for the race victory. Nuke, how are you feeling after that one?
I'm feeling pretty good, obviously. First, just want to thank McNaughty for sponsoring the league and putting these events together. I mean, the race went for me exactly like we practiced. So we were doing some collaboration. So with some drivers on track, you can probably figure out who that was. And through practice and with our strategy, but it's unfortunate. We were worried about traffic. I mean, we talked about it prior to the race, and it was a concern, something you can't control. And unfortunately, for digital relay, because he was right in front of me when it happened. Thank God he was ghosted because I was coming into the pit. Um, yeah, but it was just unfortunate. It really hurt his race. So I think he came back and finished sixth. So I'm proud of him for doing that.
Yeah, he did really well to come back. But what I would ask you then, so obviously it was very tight between yourself and Digital Relay. Had that moment not have happened, do you think it would have made a really intense ending to the race?
Yeah, I mean, we were exactly the same amount of fuel because we were in chat together, and so we had the exact same fuel. So it had been tight. I mean, in practice, I was maybe a snitch faster, and because I was behind him with the draft, it would have been close. But I'm going to tell you, we talked about it prior to the race. You got to keep your eye on the bigger prize right now, and it would have been perfectly fine with me if he finished first and I finished second, because the whole goal here is make finals, right? So both of us were in Div A last year, and we're not real happy we're in Div B this year, but So, we talked about just keep your eye on the bigger prize, which, the third place finish is okay, right? The goal is to make the finals.
Yes, indeed. Well, yeah, I mean, it couldn't have gone any perfectly for you for obviously for the first round. So congratulations on such a great performance from you, Nuke. I am going to get the thoughts and the questions over to my other two hosts. So I'm going to come to Tati first. Any questions and your thoughts towards Nuke's performance?
Yeah, sure. Hey, Nuke, what up, boss?
How you doing, Taddy?
Hey, one question for you. Early on in the race, once you got into, I think it was like P2, you did have a good amount of cars behind you, jockeying for position and getting up to you. I couldn't tell, like I don't think the camera was staying on you long enough. I couldn't tell if you were actively defending or if you were just running your race, running your lines, and if somebody, passed, they passed. But for the most part, it clearly they couldn't get past you. I just want to know what you were doing there. Were you defending or were you just driving the car?
No, for the most part, had that spot there in the middle of the hard stint where Caper, based on my errors, Caper got to me, and I was going to let him go. Um, so really wasn't going to actively defend. I was just going to continue to run my race. I had a fuel strategy, I don't know if you saw, but like when we pitted at, lap there, I mean, I had more fuel than other folks. So
Yeah.
that certainly helped on the transition to sauce with gaining a little lap time. So I was pretty intent on running my race. I would have been more than happy to sit behind him and save a little bit more fuel if that would have took, but I got a really good run on him. I know it probably looked a little close, going into that last turn. So, I was clearly up on his side, and he gave me a light flash, and I, apologize if you felt that was, the momentum car, right? And you momentum in this car, you're in trouble,
Right.
right? And so, I got up alongside of him and slow rolled into the turn and was able to get the pass back. And after that, it was on. I was more worried about up front. I could not believe the qualifying times. 30. There was 36.9 and 37 flats. I was like, oh my god. Because like the best I had run with a draft is like a 37.1. So I was pretty worried. Starting fifth or sixth, and I just stuck behind digital, as we went through there. I knew that the one guy, Paglio, whatever his name, the guy who won the
Like,
championship last year, started on softs. I knew he was on softs, so I felt like, well, that's great. I'll follow him. You take me home. And then looked like there was a little dust up between Bandit and Root, and the seas just parted, and Digital and I were able to drive through.
that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, quality was so close, and I was a little surprised to see you down in six. But I think you said a time that you said was about what you thought was going to be fastest on softs, just about. And I figured because you had talked about how important saving fuel might be for you in this race, that your fuel strategy would take you. It's such a long pit stop that essentially saving fuel is the only way to save time on the pit stop. So congratulations on it working out.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Hmm.
Thank you, Tessie. And of course, TK's, any thoughts, questions to our race winner?
Yeah, well, he pretty much answered everything. Congratulations, Nuke. That was awesome, man. I was going to ask you about, did you realize Pelias was on the softs at the start because he was right in front of you, but you answered that and followed him through and let the waters part and allow you to get up there. So great job and congratulations.
Yep, appreciate it. Thank you. Just give some credit to my S7R teammates. We always support each other during the week, and whether we're driving in Div A, Div B, we're hanging out, working on strategy. So I just appreciate the support of my S7R teammates also.
Yeah, congratulations to you, Nuke. Yeah, great start to the championship. Do you think that has now given you that confidence to really push on for the rest of the season?
Well, yeah, I mean, to be honest, I feel relatively confident being in Division B. I missed Div A by 0.007 seconds, right? And it was just, it was a heartbreaker. So I'm not really too worried about my ability to get through Div B. I just want to make sure that I stay out of trouble with, other drivers and stuff like that, through the next couple of races, and I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm sure you will be. Although I will say, Police Pangolin may have something to say about that because he is the reigning Division B champion right now. But we love to hear it, and good luck to you for the rest of the season. And thank you for joining us as well.
Yep, no worries. There's some good talent in this group, so I'm not trying to imply I think it's going to be a cakewalk. So we'll be working at it every week. Trust me.
Great to hear. Great to hear. But yeah, it was an absolute pleasure to watch you out there. Pretty much a faultless race from you. So sit back, relax, and of course stick around to the end of the broadcast because obviously we got the Division A race and of course the combos for round 2 as well. But thank you very much.
All right, will do. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Note. Okay, and I think we're coming to our second place finisher, of course, making his debut in the league phase for the NRL. Congratulations to you, SRP Mr. Racing. How are you feeling after grabbing that second position?
I'm feeling great. It was a really struggle to keep the tires, up to temp and able to make it to the end, but I found my way through and got a P2.
Yeah, that you did, and I have to say, because I couldn't remember whereabouts you started, but I do believe TK, you said it was P8, wasn't it?
It was ninth.
I was in ninth. Wow, that made the race even better for you. So, so after sort of qualifying, you got P9. What was your mindset after that qualifying session? Was it a case of look? It's just qualifying, I've got a strategy and I'm just going to position my car in the right spots and use that slipstream and time my overtakes?
After qualifying, I was shocked at how good the times were. I really thought I was going to be qualifying up in probably podium, but then they showed all their pace and stuff. So coming up to the race, I just try to be consistent, find my way, slip in someone's draft. But after that last corner, at the end of the lap 1, it was insane. I didn't know what to do with my radar.
Yeah, I can only imagine how scary that proposition would have been because, of course, you started on the hard tires, so cold tires at that as well. And then, you want to take your normal lines, and then all of a sudden you've got cars all over, behind to the side of you. It must have been a very, very scary proposition for you, but you did fantastic out there, and it was great to see you in that the first race for you. So, and hopefully that settled your nerves ahead of the rest of the season.
Yeah, it really did. It's really exciting. I thought this was gonna be like a set in stone race where you qualified and you just stay in that same position, but it was so much action out there. It's super fun, and I think there's a lot of talent in this field, so it's going to be a hard championship to fight for.
Yes, indeed. Well, you definitely showcased a fantastic opening performance from you. So congratulations on that second position. But TK's, what are your thoughts on Mr. Racing's performance, and any questions at all?
Yes, but real quick, I want to say a big thank you to Workman Racing for the $9.99. Thank you very much. We greatly appreciate it. Mr. Racing, congratulations, sir. P2, well done, well done. Good to see you in this league. How many close calls did you have out there? You mentioned there at the beginning, you didn't know what to do with the radar, but did you come close to hitting the wall several times or contact with anyone else?
Many. I really thought I was gonna get some damage or collide with another driver. Almost did come in that last corner at the end of lap 1. I'm lucky that I stayed on track. Yeah, the tires were super cold. I didn't know how to move around in the hards since we did quali and softs, and I just thought I can wing the car around in the last corner, but it showed that it couldn't make it that easy.
Wow. Yeah, you did an incredible job. One of my favorite things is who does the most overtakes, who moves up the field the most, and the answer is you, and that is awesome, man. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And Tassie, any final thoughts or questions towards our second place finisher?
Man, I don't know about questions, but I'm scared of you, Mr. Racing, because yeah, coming from ninth to the podium, this is a tough race. It's the opening race. You obviously you're showing that you're not here to play. Um, I how confident do you feel going into the rest of the season, knowing that like, hey, every combo is random? Are you one of those drivers that you're good in anything that you're in, or do you have some specific cars or car classes that you really hope end up on the roster?
I don't think I'm great in everything. I think I'm good in, some classes, some stuff like that. But what I'm really hoping for is some GR3, GR2, maybe even GR4. That's where I specialize in. And yeah, it's insane, and hopefully I can keep this progress during the whole season.
I hear you. And you know what? The chat is asking a question that I guess I have too. I said Mr. Racing. Is it Mr. Racing or MR Racing?
Mr. Racing.
Ah, I was right. Ew. So shut up, chat. Thank you.
Yeah,
And real quick, we had two more donations come in through Streamlabs. $10 from Joshua and $50, wow, from Left Lane Racing Team. So big thanks to y'all. We appreciate it.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you very much. Yeah, Mr. Racing. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I know you answered that. You certainly take the confidence from today's performance. But just a final question to you then. So today, obviously, we're driving quite an unusual car, road car. Is this a particular type of car that you specialize in, or do you prefer like racing cars? I mean, what is your speciality?
I mean, I'm fine with anything you guys put on. I love it. I love this league. But what I'm really hoping for and I really specialize in is GR3 cars, GR4s. I really like the racing cars. Because I usually, practice in those, racing those from other leagues and races that I can really do good in those, and hopefully I can see those in some of the races.
Okay, interesting. Well, Mr. McNulty, if you can put on a Group 3 or Group 4 race for round 2, that'll be fully appreciated from Mr. Racing. But thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Racing, and congratulations on that second position. A fabulous, fabulous performance from you, and really look forward to seeing how you get on in round 2 in a couple of weeks' time. But yeah, we obviously stick around till the end of the broadcast to see what the combo is for round 2, and fingers crossed for you.
Yeah, we'll do. I just want to say thank you, McNaughty. Thank you, all the commentators and everyone that helps put it together this league, and can't wait to drive more in this league.
We fully appreciate you, and thank you for your time. Bye-bye.
You too.
Okay, so that was the thoughts of our top 3 drivers. Unfortunately, we couldn't get our third place finisher in the booth. So that is it for the thoughts of Division B, and of course the round 1 race of Division B. So I think we're going to go and head off for a brief intermission. So go and grab yourself a refreshment. And when we come back, we will have the standings for Division B after 1 round, as well as our first round race for Division A. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back shortly. Welcome back to part 2 of Saturday for the round 1 races. Before we get into our Division A race, let's take a look at the standings for Division B after one round. Tatty, if you could read us through the provisional standings, please.
Yes, I can. So, as soon as they pop up, I got you. Up front for Division B, those were not the right names. Hold on. No, that's okay. Standings are, nobody has any points. We're starting all over again. We didn't like it. Run it back.
Let's do it again.
Let's do it again. Let's do it again. Or maybe it's just me, you, and Flawed, TKs. Flawed, TKs, Tati, all with the same amount of points.
Yep.
We are Division B.
There we go.
I left some races between us. Right. So right now we're looking at Nuke with all 28 of those winners' points in first place. Mr. Racing is in second with 21 points. Caper in third with 18. PhD Arrow being fourth with 12 points. Pelias Pangolin, our reigning champion, picks up 5 points today, or 10 points today in fifth place. Digital Relays in sixth with 8 points. Root in seventh with 7 points. Johnny Boy gets 6 points for 8th place. Racer DM in 9th will get 3 points. VIP Ace GT has 3 points, putting him in 10th as well. Or in 10th rather. Angry Fredbird with 2 points in 11th. Island Grown is in 12th with 1 point. Old Man Pip and RTS Bandit have not scored points, so they're in 13th and 14th respectively.
Thank you, Tatty. Yep, very good to see the leaderboards there with Nuke with a commanding lead at the moment. But I think without further ado, it's time to introduce our last race for today. It's round 1 of Saturday Division A. So TKs, if you can read us through the details, please.
Absolutely.
Division A. Sorry.
Yes, Division A Saturday. This time we head over to Italy for the beautiful Lago Maggiore in its reverse iteration. We have 10-minute qualifier at Lago Maggiore ahead of a 16-lap race with false start grid start. Track length is 3.6 miles in length in a clockwise direction with a total of 17 turns. They will be using the Group 3 Nissan GT-R Nismo, the 2013 edition. It is a 3.8 liter front engine, rear wheel drive car powering with 591 base horsepower at 6,500 RPM, turbocharged, and weighs in at 1,300 kilograms, which is apparently 2,866 pounds. Bop is enabled, but they are able to tinker with the brake balance to their own likings. We'll see how that plays out. And for this race, the tire wear is set to ×3, with fuel consumption set to a rate of ×3 as well. Refueling speed is slow at 3 liters a second, with the usual damage set to heavy. Tires available are the racing soft and racing mediums, with no tire required. So we could see a handful of strategies here depending on what these drivers want to do.
Thank you, TK. And Tati, if you can remind us of the point scoring system we have for this season.
Absolutely. Point scoring will follow the Formula One system. So the race winner gets 25 points. Second place gets 18 points rather. Third place with 15 points, and then as you can see, it goes on down with everyone through 10th place getting points, 10th place getting the final point available. Fastest lap is a race bonus that's available to folks who finish in the top 10. So that's how that works. Of course, these points go towards your space in the finals. The top 14 overall divisional drivers between Friday and Saturday splits after round 3 will move on to the finals.
Thank you, Tati. And our Saturday Division A lineup is as follows. So we have Banana, we have BHR J-Dog, BHR Josh Moment, The Crawler, FAF Bobajida, FAF Wade, Filmora, K Naranjo, Lyric, Rusty Maggots, The Kai, VIP Almost Podium, VIP Cyrus Nicky GT, and lastly VIP Left to Pass You. Now, written to the right of their names is their streaming profiles applicable to them, as I'm sure they'll be streaming from their POV, so please check them out and make sure you keep a tab open for us in the NRL so you don't miss any of the racing action. Okay, so that is our combination for Division A. Now, Tati, I suppose Lego Maggiore is a fan's favorite. It was in GT Sport. It's in, of course, GT7. But something that we don't normally drive is the reverse layout. Now, the drivers are using a Group 3 car, but it is the old version of the GTR. So what are your thoughts on the combo? And is there any particular challenges ahead for the drivers?
Well, I mean, Lago Maggiore and GR3 is a tried and true combo. Like you said, the track came out in GT Sport, and of course in GT Sport, we were all worried about what these new original tracks would be like, and this one quickly became a fave. You got the Big Banky Boy, which is a fun corner, backwards or forwards. You have lots of passing opportunities on this track, so it typically makes for an incredible combo of racing. As for the old Nismo, I have not driven the 2013 version of this car, I don't think, in years. I don't even think I own it in GT7. The 2018 is fantastic to drive, and so I imagine that this one won't be too bad either.
Yeah, indeed. And yeah, it's kind of like the second opportunity for the drivers to almost like continue on from the pre-qualifying, because of course we did use the Group 3 BRZs, which are definitely different to the Nissan counterpart. However, looking aboard with the Crawler, he got the fastest lap time overall for Saturday. He already set his stall out. Can we expect the same kind of performance from the Crawler in this one, TKs?
Absolutely. I think it's going to continue on. He is going to have some competitors out there for sure challenging him, but I did get a chance to practice with him a little bit, watch him race, and he is looking mighty strong out there. So I do expect some of these other guys to step up and challenge him for pole position and ultimately the race win. But I'm seeing him being at the top for sure.
Yes, indeed. And well, I just need to read out a donation that's just popped up from EJCR Stroker Ace with the $10 donation, saying good luck to everyone, VIP, especially my day one A1 The Crawler. Go get 'em, Lil Bro. Thanks to the production crew. Great coverage. Well, that is very, very kind of you to say. And thank you so much for the generosity as well of that $10. We really, really appreciate it. We appreciate all the love and support that we've had today. And that one will certainly add to the driver pot and and everyone associated with the NRL. So thank you so much for that donation. But yeah, we're going to stay on board with the Crawler then, because he is now on his hot lap now. So we'll get to see him just use every inch of the circuit as he comes through the Banky Boy. Now, of course, it looks a little bit different to its normal way round, where it's almost like quite intimidating as you come down the hill and you see that big arc go around towards the right hand side. So he's up the hill instead of down the hill, and he's looking rather tidy through the S's as we come through the kind of technical part of the circuit. You can cut a lot of the corner as well, but you have got a nasty wall on the left hand side. This corner here, I kind of find it difficult because there's quite a few different lines that you can take going down the sort of cambered corner, but yeah, certainly looking rather good right now. We're expecting times to be in the region of about 1 minute 57s, but maybe the Crawler, maybe he can show us how it's done. Maybe the absolute aliens out there, maybe they can go a lot quicker. May eat my words as we speak. He's just coming through the penultimate corner now onto the final corner and the final straight. And as he comes across the line now, he sets a 1 minute 57.628. So just about got it correct, but FAF Wade and Bobachido up onto pole position, setting a 1 minute 57.073 as the times come in thick and fast, but very, very impressive there, Tati.
Yeah, incredibly impressive already. 57 flat for Bobachido here. You know, I do wonder how many hot laps drivers will be able to get out of this car, but as you mentioned, lots of cutting can be done, not like that. Oh, almost podium just picked up an entire second penalty there, cutting in the wrong place, but there are spots where you can use every last inch of the track and then some, and drivers will want to do that to get fast around here. Like I said, this track's been around since Sport in 2017. There are people who have almost a decade of experience driving this thing at this point.
Yes, indeed, indeed. Well, we have got a 10-minute qualifying, so we're just approaching the halfway mark. But just to give you an update on the timing board, so we've got Bobachido with that 1 minute 57.073. Then in P2, we've got FAF Wade just 2 tenths down on Bobachido, of course, making his debut in NRL Season 6, or NRL any season really, but yeah, doing a fine job at the moment. And I was told about you know, looking out for particular drivers, and I think Wade went slightly under the radar from the pre-qualifying, but yeah, we've also got Lyric up there as well, very, very fast driver, 3 tenths down on FAF Wade in P3, which will make it half a second at the moment, with VIP almost podium in P4 and the Crawler in P5 and the Kai in P6, with Cyrus Nicky in P7 and Rusty Magus in P8. But a long way to go, as it looks like a lot of the drivers are going to peel into the pit lane to change onto new boots perhaps, and maybe a drop of fuel. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, we're just looking on board with Felmora at the moment. P10 at the moment. I think he's going to follow suit as well into the pit lane. I think quite a lot of the drivers are going to be doing that. But T-Case, anything that you've noticed so far in this qualifying session?
No, nothing too out of the ordinary. You know, I don't know that we expected Bobachido and Wade to be up at the top. I knew they were fast guys, but good on them. You can tell they put in the practice, and this team, the FAF team, is definitely a team that works together, and they work really hard and do a lot of practicing together. So no surprises there, that they're together on the same pace at least. And then yeah, everything else seems to be pretty standard. Everybody's giving each other enough space. Nothing too wild, a few penalties here or there, but looking forward to see who actually ends up on top, because we'll get at least 1 or 2 more laps out of these guys.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it looks like quite a lot of the drivers are on their hot laps now. Interestingly, with the fuel, though, of course, we started with the initial fuel of 30 litres in this qualifying session. So they're able to push the car to the absolute limits. And it's just really about pushing at the right time, as the tire wears is quite high. You think ×3 isn't that high, but actually around the circuit like Lego Maggiore, them soft tires really do burn up very, very quickly, and tire temperatures are possibly going to be an issue in this race, Tassie.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks to be a nice, hot, sunny day. There's not any shade around this track. So track temperatures are going to be high, which is going to wear those tires out more and make them real greasy. This car also has pretty low downforce from the, I'm going to call it the factory settings, but I guess it's the Gran Turismo settings here. These cars are run under BOP, so drivers can't change that. And so that means the front end is going to be a little bit loose. It's not going to bite as much as you want it to. It's going to scrub. And we've seen folks coming in just on their 3rd lap, and the racing softs are over a 3rd done. So I think we might even see 2 stops during this race, or we're going to see some really long medium stints. Perhaps, I think it's going to come down to how you manage your tires. Dirty air is going to be incredibly dangerous over here as well, with wearing those tires out.
Well, the kite has just propelled himself up into pole position with a flying lap there. The first driver to get into the 1:56s, so a 1:56.814 from the Brit. Of course, I will be supporting him because he is a fellow Brit. I am from the UK, so.
What? Are you sure? I didn't know that.
I can tell. You don't even have to say anything.
I know, I'll cover it up well. I cover it up really well, don't I? So, but yeah, certainly the car is showing us how it's done, and with that purple time, 1:56.814. So advantage to the car. Has any of the drivers behind him got anything to say about that, T-Case?
I'm not seeing much improvement out here. Cyrus Nicky was the last one to kind of jump up there. He moved from P7 to P4 with an improved lap time. But from what I've been seeing elsewhere, nobody's in. Well, as we say that, Bobagito now goes purple. So here we go. It might be on for pole position.
Yes, indeed. Well,
it wasn't purple by much, and you missed that apex. I'm curious. You missed the apex right before the timing line.
Yeah, it was up by 200th of a second, but you can see that, of course, got very little fuel, so the car is going to be at its optimal, and as he comes through the final turn across the checkered line, he sets a 1:56.9, not quite good enough, but improves his time by just over 1.5 tenths. So a great effort from Bobagito. It looks like the crawler has gone a little bit quicker, I do believe, because he's moved up into P4 with FAF Wade in P3, Cyrus Nicky up into P5 as well. PHG Lyric down into P6. However, he is coming across the line now. I don't think he's going to improve, though. 3.5 tenths down on his previous best, so he remains in P6, and it looks like most of the drivers have set their final laps. So the grid order is how it is, and we'll get to read out the timing balls very, very shortly. But what are your thoughts on that qualifying session, T-Case?
That was excellent. I love that last jump up there from the Kai, seeing Cyrus Nicky move up, to Crawler move up like that, and then the FAF boys doing a good job for their team up there in P2 and P3, and one of their good buds, CBD Driver here, $4.99 donation. Cheers, y'all. Thank you so much, CBD Driver. We appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you very much, CBD Driver. Not seen you for a while, actually, so yeah, good to see you, CBD Driver. Of course, he was a participant in the NRL once upon a time. So we hope to have you back at some point, maybe in season 7. Who knows? But thank you very much. Really, really do appreciate that. Yeah, Tassie, what are your thoughts on this qualifying session?
Well, I mean, it's what I expected. We had some really fast drivers in here. No drama, just, competing for times, pushing each other. Obviously, some strategy playing out with people pitting and taking a little bit of fuel, but not so much fuel that, they don't need a lot of fuel, right? So just do your little 2 laps, jump in, fuel up, do another couple laps, and it worked out for some people, the Kai, namely.
Yeah, he certainly did save the best to last there. We know about the Kai because in the pre-qualifying session, he was really pushing, and we knew he had the pace, but maybe pushed it a little bit too hard, and of course had that unfortunate moment where he spun out on the. I think it was the second to last corner. So certainly done exactly the same here, saving the best to last, gets pole position. But let's have a look at the qualifying results for Saturday round 1, Division A. So, yes, confirmation there that KD the Kai will be starting from a pole position with that very, very fast 1 minute 56.814, who was just under a tenth quicker than FAF Bobber Gido. They'll be starting on row 1. Then on row 2, we've got FAF Wade with a 1 minute 57.2, and the Crawler starting from P4 on row 2, 1 minute 57.491 from him. Then on the third row, we've got VIP Cyrus Nicky GT, 1 minute 57.603, because that is 1.5 hundredths quicker than PHG Lyric, who will be starting alongside him in P6. Then in P7, we've got VIP Almost Podium in 7th position, 1 minute 57.624. So you can see how tight that is, 4,000th of a second separating the two drivers. And then S7R Rusty Magus starting from P8 with a 1 minute 57.792. In P9, we've got K Naranjo, and I hope I pronounced his name correctly there, but I do know it's Oak. Yes, it's Oak. He grabbed a 1 minute 58.025. And then in P10, we've got BHR Josh Moment, just 1.5 hundredths separating the two drivers. They'll be starting on row 5. Row 6 will be Felmora from P11, 1 minute 58.085. And then in P12, we've got VIP Left to Pass You with a 1 minute 58.251. Then lastly, on the final row, row 7, we've got PHG Banana. He set a 1 minute 58.263. And then in P14, it'll be BHR J-Dog with a 1 minute 59.617. Now, I did see a donation come up, but I can't see it now. So, TK, can you read us the donation that came up?
That was from our good friend Arrow GT with a $10 donation. And he says, please check out Lithograph Comics. Lots of great comics posts, and the guy has played Gran Turismo since the earliest days. So big shout out to our sponsor, Lithograph Comics. Go check them out on Instagram, and big thanks to Arrow GT for the $10.
Yeah, thank you so much, Arrow. And it just shows you how long maybe how old some of us might be as well. But I do remember Gran Turismo from its earliest iteration. But obviously they celebrated 25 years. What was it? A couple of years ago, wasn't it? So, so we are nearly getting on 3 decades, and we absolutely love Gran Turismo, don't we? But we have also got another donation that's just come through from S7R Stig Xander. With the $19.99 donation, saying big shout out to McNulty for his support for our S7R TGR Cup. NRL is the highest quality of community league racing. Well, thank you so much for the kind compliments. Thank you so much for the donation as well, Stig Xander. Very, very kind of you. That'll be added to the prize pot. Have you got any? Oh, and Tati, do you want to just promote this S7R TGR Cup?
I absolutely can do that. That'll be on this channel tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern. Team S7R has their championship. It's the Toyota GR Cup, where we race various Toyota products from street cars on up to the GR1. It's a lot of fun. I do the commentary alongside Hovercraft and McNaughty, who produces, obviously, NRL, and these broadcasts is our producer. So it's really great stuff. It's good racing. Lots of strategy, a couple races per night. Come join us right here on McNaughty tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern. Like I said, I'll see you soon.
Yeah, make sure you be there, guys, and give all the support they truly deserve, particularly our Tati as well, who will be the main commentator. So definitely go and check that one out. And again, massive shout out to you, Stigzander, for the donation. So I think we're just waiting for the final kind of checks and that before we start the 16-lap race here at the Lego Maggiore reverse layout for this Division A Round 1 race. Now, the GTR Nismo cars, of course, the GTR 2013 car, of course, it's a little bit different from the 2018 car. Now, something I may have noticed was that the car was a little bit more understeery. Did you get that impression, T-Case?
Yeah, the newer one, which I think most people use, it was meta for a while. It was definitely really tail happy, whereas this one, the front grip just isn't quite as much. So you get, like Tati was saying during qualifying, a bit more scrubbing there on the front tires. So definitely going to have to be careful. This is a high-speed track that punishes the front tires. So it'll be interesting to see how these drivers rotate. We did mention that brake balance is allowed, so I imagine that's going to come into play, perhaps moving the brake balance a bit to the rear to help with a little more rotation and reduce some of that front tire wear.
Yeah, indeed. But it's going to be interesting how long them tires do last. We have just had another donation come in. You guys are absolutely smashing it up right now. Bonnie with the $4.99 US donation saying, "Let's go PH We are about to start round 1 of Division A for NRL Season 6. I nearly forgot my words there as we await by red lights. We got Kai and Bobajido leading from the front row as the lights go out, and away we go. And Bobajido, he's going to have the inside line, but Kai should have the acceleration. But no, Bobajido gets a better start than the Kai, and he will get in front of the Kai, and who has left the door open for FAF Wade to sneak up the inside. But Kai, just with a nose in front, holds on to that second position, and Wade will have to settle in to third position with the crawler in P4, and then we've got a gaggle of cars behind with VIP Cyrus Nicky just leading them cars in P5, and PHG Lyric in P6, BHR Josh Bowman up into P7, and Oak in P8, but they are a line astern as we go down the hill towards Banky Boy for the first time of asking, and Kai moves back up into P2, I do believe, from FAF Wade, who is just behind Bobajido as we go up the hill for the first time, and right in that slipstream range to about 2/10 of a second just behind. Wade is a little bit further behind the P3 with the crawler all over the back bumper of FAF Wade in the background, and there's looks like a changing in hands between P6 and P7 with Josh Moment up into P6. Is certainly very close at the moment, and we don't know which way we can call it at the moment, but certainly very close. In fact, there was almost 3 abreast in the background there, almost podium just in front of PHG Lyric in P9 with a bit of a wiggly moment, but PHG Lyric gets on the power earlier and up into P8. Looks like almost podium has lost a bit of time because Rusty Magnus is up the inside to move up into P9, and it also might also be left to pass who looking to make the pass on almost podium, and there's a spin in the background there. T-Case, can you explain to us what happened there?
I missed it. I unfortunately cannot. I was checking to see if almost podium was on damage, but we'll see it here. as we see almost podium up ahead, and oh, a little tap from behind maybe, and then into the grass they go.
Oh,
that was left to pass. Wow.
A very, very unfortunate moment for left to pass there, as he was looking so good at the early stage. It looks like FAF Wade has just got past the Kai to move up into P2 whilst we was looking at that replay. But the Kai, of course, you know, still in a really good position, and of course in that toe of Wade as well. So not all is lost from the Kai now. Something I didn't really look at was the tyre choices. So the Kai is on the racing medium tyres at the moment, in a, like I say, a very good position in P3, but Bobagido does look like he's starting to peel away in the distance, who's currently has the race lead, and yeah, certainly Wade not able to escape the clutches of the Kai. But what a fantastic start we've had to this race so far, Tati.
Yeah, changes immediately. Bobagido with that incredible launch to beat the Kai out of the off the line. I wonder if he's on the softs, because he's building up a gap between Wade and the Kai. Obviously Wade with the pass and left to pass with a spin. We saw another couple of changes for, I think, P8 there, all before lap 3. We're still on lap 2 actually right now, but just ending it.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, a long way to go at the moment, but just cycling through the field at the moment. Sorry, the crawler is in P4 at the moment. He's also decided to go on the racing medium tyres now. The Kai is starting to challenge FAF Wade just in front, but not able to sneak up the inside. And he'll have to be a little bit more patient there, and hope that Wade does leave a door open as he goes a little bit sideways through the penultimate corner and on the final turn, as well as we complete lap 2 and on to lap 3 of 16. And the crawler still in tow of the Kai in P4, so very, very close between the top 4. And then we have got a little bit of a battle going on for P12 with PHG Banana just heading this train in front of left to pass you in P13, and Famora just behind in P14. But yeah, certainly a few gaps starting to open up, of course, and we'll see how they fare towards the end of the race. But left to pass you, of course, making his NRL debut this season, is part of the Victory in Performance racing team, and he is using a Fanatec DD Pro, probably one of the better wheels, of course, that you'll use for Gran Turismo or for PlayStation. But yeah, he's currently got 3 points at the moment. He'll be looking to try and make up for lost time since making that mistake early on, but currently 3 points for him. But in the mid pack at the moment, we have got BHR Josh Moman, who is starting to make inroads, where VIP Cyrus Nicky just in front of him in P5, and may well be a bit of a sitting duck because he's not quite in that slipstream of the top 4. But yeah, good to see Josh Moman on fine form at the moment, part of the Beehive racing team. I know that T-Case did say to me that this was a driver that we should look out for, who has got some supreme pace. But yeah, what are your thoughts on Josh Moman at the moment, T-Case?
Well, he's looking good. He's making some moves up the field. And I have full confidence that he can stick it out and perhaps get into that top 5. I do want to point out all the drivers are on the racing medium, so we have no difference in tires. But I've seen this now for 2 laps as Oak, oh my goodness, currently P10, P11, Oak loses it going into the final turn. He was just behind Josh Moment. We saw Josh Moment have a little wiggle there coming out of the turn. I was about to say both him and Oak have been drifting this final turn. We'll see it here on board with Oak as they come around, and it looks like he just gets a little too heavy on the throttle, touches the grass and hits the barrier as it pokes out. And thank goodness for ghosting for some of those other drivers coming through. Oh, but not there at the end. Oh my goodness. And that is Oak down to P13.
Yeah, big moment for Oak there, and I've just seen as well on the timing boards that the crawler is up into P3 now. So he did negotiate his way past FAF Wade, and he's also picked up a 1 second penalty. So we are looking on board with, in fact, I think the move was already done from the crawler. But we're looking at the penalty, and he just cut track limits there, and it's a costly mistake because he has got a gag roll cars just behind him, so potentially could be losing 2 positions in the next lap or so. In fact, he is coming up to the penalty zone now, so so the penalty will be served imminently. And yeah, surely Cyrus Nicky and Josh Moment will be able to slingshot their way past what's his name, Wade, wasn't it, to move up into P4 and P5 tattoo.
Yeah, there's so much going on. You're like, I was just talking about a person, and who was the person? Yeah, way down to P6. I am actually not sure how we ended up in P4 in the first place, because obviously last we saw he was fighting for P2 with the Kai. In fact, not even fighting, he was ahead of the Kai. So I'm going to keep an eye on him to see if his race continues to deteriorate, obviously. Not that I'm wishing it. No commentators curse here.
Well, I always said if you're not commentator cursing, you're not doing your job correctly. But
yeah, let me try to balance it out. He could also, this could be a wake-up call, like, get back on and focus and get back up there.
Well, you know, we're only not even a quarter of the way through. Well, just over a quarter of the way through the race. Sorry, so maybe a third of the way through the race. But yeah, I wasn't always the best at maths. But yeah, certainly the battles are starting to brew up because Cyrus Nicky is coming under increasing pressure from BHR Josh Moment, who finds himself in a P5, and the crawler not too far up the road either, in 3rd position now. Of course, with this circuit, with the high tyre wear and the fuel as well, this is where strategy will come into play here as we look on board with Kai, actually, who is all over the back bumper of Bobagido. He is swarming around the exhaust of Bobagido like a wasp, and looking to try to take full advantage if an opportunity does present itself. And Bobagido takes it with a plum, and will hold on to the race lead for the time being, but one little slip up and I'm sure the Kai will be there to pounce. So we have got a few battles going on. Oh, a little bit of a wiggly moment from the Kai, but we've also got a battle going on for P9, and it looks like is it J-Dog, I think, just serving a penalty, so he's going to be losing a position or two. But yeah, Bobachido with great yeah, just great driving, and I was trying to think of the word there, but no, I can't think of it at the time being. But holding on to the lead, he is, but the guy is certainly not going to make it easy for him, TK.
Oh no, not at all. As the Kai runs wide there, pushing hard. The dirty air is real, y'all, and following this closely with these very fast corners, it's going to be a struggle. We're seeing penalties left and right. So we saw J-Dog lose that position there for the battle for P9. So these penalties are definitely coming into play, and look at how that gap has formed now. The Kai makes one mistake, Bobachido's gone, and the crawler is all over him.
Yes, indeed, and well, a bit of a contest. It's been on a 1 second penalty, and the crawler goes up the inside, but he may have got a little bit deep. The Kai tried the old switcheroo, but the crawler covers it off, so the Kai will settle down in P3, but literally pushing on the crawler. There is literally an A4 sheet between the two drivers, but the Kai will have to serve that 1 second penalty in due course. So the Kai will be looking to try and grab as much speed from the car in front as possible and try not to lose too much time. I think he may, in fact, yes, he is. He's going to serve the penalty on this very lap. So the Kai just really trying to get the maximum speed so he doesn't lose too much speed as he takes his penalty. But surely Cyrus Nicky GT, maybe even Wade, will take full advantage as the Kai obviously going a little bit slow. Cyrus Nicky around the outside. Can he make it stick? Not quite. He is going to have to settle back into P4. But of course now the Kai under serious pressure now, Tati.
Oh yeah, wow. What a sequence. I mean, the Kai with the big mistake there. Apparently Nissan makes lawnmowers now because he was in the grass for a good bit. That puts him in the clutches of the crawler. I didn't even see when he picked up the penalty, but the crawler, Bendy, just sent it anyway, even though knowing he's going to get this position for free. He dives up the inside and takes P2 away from the Kai. I guess he doesn't want Bobagito to run away. But yeah, I think the guy's got the pace to get away from Cyrus Nicky. I don't see Cyrus driving any differently. I don't think he smells blood. I think he realizes he's got to take it easy on these tires.
Yeah, and of course you made a really good point there, Tessie, is that, yeah, the tyre wear is pretty heavy. Of course, as well, following behind a driver with that dirty air does incur a little bit more tyre wear as well. So strategy is definitely going to be key, and it's going to be about who can preserve their tyres the most, really, I think, with the pace being very similar throughout the grid. But Bobagito, you know, he has kept his composure. That was the word I was trying to think of, composure. He has a 1.3 second lead over the crawler, so I wouldn't say it's completely comfortable. However, the crawler not quite in that slipstream range, so he's not going to benefit when we go down the straights unless the crawler can get a better exit than Bobagito for this cambered left-hander downhill, that is, and it looks like Bobagito took that to perfection. So Bobagito, you know, certainly looking good for the race win, but of course we're on lap 7 of 16, and of course we've already cursed one or two drivers already, so I wouldn't want to bring him that fate, Tati.
We've done nothing. We've done nothing wrong.
And y'all, I want to point out earlier we've had 3 drivers pit due to damage. We have Felmora, BIP almost podium, and Oak all pit and ended up getting fresh tires. VIP almost podium came out on the mediums again. Oak comes out on the mediums again. Felmora, who's on their outlap, decided to switch over to the soft, so we now have 1 driver on the soft tires.
Right, okay, that's going to be very interesting because, yes, I did do a little bit of testing, and I did work out that on the mediums, you could maybe stretch out the mediums to about 11 or 12 laps. However, the tyres were going to feel horrible at that stage, and certainly you would get a lot of understeer in the car, and then the softs burn out very, very quickly, and you may be able to keep them to last for about 6 to 7 laps, but again from about lap 5 onwards, them tires would feel really, really bad. Now Josh Moman, I thought he was catching up to FAF Wade, but he's just picked up a 1 second penalty for cutting track limits, so may need to be wary of the drivers just behind, particularly PHG Lyric in P7. Now as we look on board a little bit further down the grid, we've got VIP left to pass. He's starting to make inroads up the grid, moves up into 10th position currently. Now obviously we do know that a couple of drivers have made their pit stops, so that could be the case why he finds himself there, but J-Dog on quite worn medium, so actually I would say that he's done a relatively good job in saving them tires. You know, he's still got half the wear left, but of course once they hit the half wear, that's when they do fall off a cliff. But yeah, J-Dog of course making his debut in the NRL this season. Now I did just see that he is using the dual sense, so controller players will feel the tyre wear as we see Bobagito and the crawler come into the pits from P1 and P2 respectively, or was it P3? I think think, for the crawler. I can't remember now. But anyways, they're into the pits, and quite a few of the drivers coming into the pits now, with Cyrus Nicky and FAF Wade also in. So the Kai and Josh Moman will inherit P1 and P2, with Lyric up into P3. But of course, you know, I would imagine the drivers are just probably going to come in with, come out on track on the soft tires, which will be the superior grip for, you know, at least the first few laps. So roles will be reversed shortly, I think. But just depending on what kind of strategy these drivers are doing, you know, do you think it's possible anyone would try the no stopper here, Tati?
Yep. I know of at least one driver who was really mulling it over. I don't know what he decided in the last minute, but he thinks it's possible. I think it's madness, but some people are better at that sort of thing than others. Did we just see a team orders pass there between the crawler and left to pass you? Yeah, we did? Okay. Interesting. I noticed those three VIP drivers running together.
Yeah.
I wonder if it was...
Also on that, with the crawler getting by, that where the crawler and Cyrus and Wade came out of the pits really helped left to pass you, because he was getting gained on by J-Dog back there, and J-Dog ended up getting all those drivers coming out of the pits right in front of them. So that has helped left to pass you, as we see Cyrus Nicky go up the inside along with Wade following suit. So it looks like they're both going to get ahead, and there we have J-Dog in the background catching back up.
Yeah, left to pass with barely anything left on them medium tyres, and it was an easy pass in the end from Cyrus Nicky and Wade to move up into P7 and P8 respectively. But Josh Moman into the pits now from, I think he was P3 at the time, so starting to fall down the grid, so getting off them old medium tyres. I would imagine he will be going onto the soft tyres next.
Yes.
But Kai, at the moment, he's got an 8.4 second lead now. He has really done well in saving them tyres. They probably will feel a little bit worse for wear, but keeping consistent pace up. There was obviously that moment he had on lap 6 where he did lose a little bit of time, but he is the fastest man on track when we talk about lap times. Now 1 minute 58.9 was his fastest lap time, and I did notice that he was consistently hitting the 1 minute 59s and 2 minute times. So really good stuff from the Kai. But as we look on board with the drivers, that actually Wade is on the medium tyres, which does surprise me a little bit there, T-Case.
Yeah, I'm looking at tires, and it looks like the crawler, Cyrus, and Wade all came out on the medium tires. We only have 2 soft tire runners now, with Josh Moment and Felmora. And to point out what Tati was saying, I think that was her teammate S7R Rusty Maggots thinking about the no stopper, because his tires don't look bad. He's currently in P3. He's got enough fuel to make it to the end. So this could be an almighty Hail Mary coming out from the S7R crew, but it's looking good. I'm excited to see what Josh Moment can do on these softs with 6 laps left to go.
Well, the Kai just coming into the pits now from the race lead, 37% of fuel on them dying medium tyres. So we'll see what tyres he comes out on. But PHG Lyric also following suit, who was in P2 then, who's changing off their medium tyres and 32% of fuel. So S7R Rusty Maggots inherits the race lead. Now, if he really is doing the no stopper here, I do wonder how much slower he will be in the final 3 to 4 laps. We've got 5 laps remaining, but actually looking at his times actually would suggest that his pace is pretty good. 2 minutes, 2 minute ones, so that is very good. But yeah, so far 1.1 seconds is the lead from Boba Gido, Tati.
It's a gamble for sure. I think Bobagito has pitted, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm guessing he came out on the softs. I'm surprised about the VIP guys doing medium. I mean, I know the softs really only give you like 3 laps or whatever, but that's like that's a quality trim. You know what I mean? Like if you dial it back, I'm sure they'll give you the 5 laps, but maybe they just don't want to have to dial it back. Maybe there's just not that much of a delta between the softs and the mediums, and they found it worth it. I don't know.
Yeah, indeed, and it sounds like we've got a bit of a battle of the titans here from P3 downwards. So Bobajido, yeah, it looks like he's going to make the pass on Rusty Maggots. He's within half a second. In fact, the time is rapidly closing, so it's inevitable he's going to make the pass, I think. But I have heard that the Crawler P3 and the Kai P4, so very, very tight between third, fourth, and fifth, I do believe. In fact, they may be side by side. Can we get the camera back over as Rusty Maggots looks like he may concede? Yes, he does. Bobajido will. Oh, I thought it was. Yeah, sorry. I thought he was going to take that position away from him, but Rusty Maggots just defending for his life then, as Bobajido may well have to be a little bit more patient in taking that position. But what this will be doing is the gap behind us, the Kai has now moved up back into P3 ahead of the Crawler in P4. But the more that these two battle, the more that the drivers behind will close that gap. And with Rusty Maggots as well, you know, trying to save his fuel and trying to save his tires, definitely the Kai, the Crawler, Cyrus, Nicky and Co will come back into play here. The Kai looks like he has closed that gap to 1.7 seconds now. So this is going to be hurting Bobajido because he still can't get past Rusty Maggots for the race lead. But surely, if he gets a good exit here, surely with the overspeed, surely he'll maybe be daring to get past Rusty Maggots, but it does look like Rusty Maggots is just keeping that nose in front. So the Kai really closing in now. The gap is now 9/10 of a second as he goes purple through sector 2 as well. Bobajido is just stuck behind Rusty Maggots, and look how much he's closing in on Bobajido, the Kai, and the Kai looking for an opportunity. I thought a door was going to be open for him, but Bobajido just closes it firmly shut for the time being as we come into the left-hand camber corner, and the Kai looking for the old switcheroo. Has he made it work? Well, they're going to be side by side. I don't think Kai can sweep in front because the left-hand turn will turn into the right-hand turn. So Bobajido with the nose in front will hang on to that second position as he goes a little bit wide. Is Kai going to switch back again? I mean, the Kai, it looks like he's just toying with Bobajido at the moment as Bobajido hangs on to that second position. And, you know, funny enough, Rusty Maggots still holding on to the race lead here, TKs.
Indeed, this is exciting stuff. Bobajido having to go defensive has forced him to lose touch there to Rusty Maggots. The Kai is the only one of these top runners on the softs. Everyone else is on the mediums until we go back to Josh Moment in P7. So the Kai definitely has the tire advantage. We're seeing it here with his lap time. It's just a matter of, can he get around these two guys?
Yeah, indeed. And yeah, I mean, it's so tight here. I mean, Rusty Maggots still holding on to that race lead. How is he doing it, Tati?
I mean, I think he's just running his lines. That's literally all it is. All he is, I have not seen him actively defend. He is just on the racing line, and that is Bobajido's mistake. He has much better mediums, and he should have pressed the issue like he's doing now so much sooner, because Kai was coming, and he really needed to put a car between himself and the Kai, and he was being patient and being nice, and he shouldn't have been. Now he's stuck. He's going slower because he's having to defend, and now he wants to push Rusty. But all I see is Rusty staying on his line and keeping his tires together.
Yeah, indeed, and what that has done as well is the Crawler has now caught to the back of the Kai in P4. So we have got a 4-horse race in the final 3.5 laps that we've got here. Who is going to come out on top here? I mean, it's so tight. It's all Bobajido. Look to go side by side with Rusty Maggots, but Rusty Maggots able to get on the power in time. It looks like he's going to lose the position to the Kai, who goes around the outside to move up into P2. It's got deep and holds it on the track, but loses out to Bobajido, who takes that second position back again. The Crawler is sniffing blood right now. The Kai, Is he just, yes, he's left it open for the crawler, and he moves up into P3. Kai down into P4, T-Case.
Yes, indeed. And he's going to fight back. He's going to use that extra grip here on the start-finish straight. He'll be on the outside, but I think he'll be able to carry more speed than the crawler. This is, just amazing. Side by side, here they go. He runs a little wide, but keeps it on the track, and now he's able to get P3 back, and he can get focused on what he's trying to do, which is win this race.
Oh, fantastic racing between the pair of them, and the guy, being the bravest of all men, hangs it around the outside to reclaim that P3 away from the crawler. But Bobagito takes the race lead, finally gets past Rusty Maggots, and is this the time where the tires really fall off a cliff from Rusty Maggots as he falls down the grid, because he is now under all types of pressure from the Kite in P3, with the crawler on the back bumper of the Kite, who looks to come out of the Kite's slipstream to slingshot his way down the inside. Is he going to take that position away from the Kite? It's looking like it. They're both going to be side by side as we go through the exits, and the crawler does finally take that position away from the Kite to move up into P3. His next target will be Rusty Maggots, who's in second position, but you can see from the lines of Rusty Maggots where he's not really got that grip now, and he's started to look a little bit worse for wear as Bobagito does peel off in the distance, as we've got just 2.5 laps remaining of this race, Tati.
Listen, the chaos Rusty is causing right now is giving me exactly what I need in life. My day is made. Rusty's goal is not to beat these guys. His goal is not to be faster than these guys. His goal is simply to stay on his line, not completely kill his tires, and finish where he finishes. He started this in P8. Even if all of these guys pass him, he's up, right? So literally all he has to do is run his race until the end. Don't panic, don't crash, don't try to fight anybody, but doing a fantastic job keeping them behind by simple virtue of the Nissan GTR being big as hell, and it's just in the way.
Yeah, indeed, and he's doing well. I mean, we're on the penultimate lap, but you know what this has done, as obviously the Kite just behind Cyrus Nicky, and Wade has entered the foray as well in P6. So he's going to be under intense pressure as he really loses a lot of time in that car with the dying racing medium tires, and also as well he must be fuel saving like mad. And the Kite switches to the inside on the Banky boy, and he should take that third position. Cyrus Nicky follows suit as well, uses the slipstream of the Kite, and I think he's going to move up into P4 ahead of Rusty Maggots. No, he doesn't, but I think he's got the inside line to will eventually take it. Yes, he does. Moves up into P4. Now he's going to be challenging the Kite for that P4. Oh, and we got a spinner in the background. Now it's the Kite, and we need to have a look at the replay on this one. What has happened now? Okay, so the Kite was in front of Rusty Maggots and Cyrus Nicky all over the back bumper of him as we went through the S's. Oh, he just at the moment he hit the sausage, went wide, lost control of the car, and he moves down all the way into P8, I do believe. Yes, he does. And it just shows you, isn't it? It just changes in an instant, Tati.
Yeah, that was insane. I mean, oh man, he had the pass done. He was good to go. It just kind of messed himself up hitting the curb there. Look at Bobagito though, able to take advantage of all this chaos. Once he got past Rusty, all he had to do was run away with it, and he's doing a great job. Crawler's 1.3 seconds behind. He's only got one more lap to get him. This has been an incredible last 5 or 6 laps here.
Yes, indeed it has, and it's still not over yet. We're on the final lap. At the moment, we do have Cyrus Nicky holding the last step on the podium, but FAF Wade is not too far behind, and depending on the tyre situation of Cyrus Nicky compared to Wade, well, Cyrus Nicky just a couple of car lengths in front, as we did see Wade go a little bit wide, which would have cost him a little bit of time. However, still firmly in that slipstream as we come down the hill for the big banky boy for the last time, sorry. So can he get a good exit? It looks like he can, but is it going to be enough as we come through the technical section and see if he can close that gap to Cyrus Nicky, where it is about half a second. Oh, we got two drivers just behind that have picked up penalties. I think Rusty Maggins has picked up a half a second penalty, and it may be Josh Moment as well, also picking up a penalty. So will Lyric come into play? Who knows? But so far, so good for Cyrus Nicky, who is holding on to that third position. It looks like Boba Gido has got a good enough gap to the crawler for the race victory. So looking nailed on to win this race, both of them, Josh Moment and Rusty Maggots, with that half a second penalty, but they are literally going to be side by side. Rusty Maggots has got a nose in front, but Josh Moment has got the inside line. Should have, well, actually, Josh Moment with barely any grip on them soft tyres, but the grippiest of tyres, he takes that position away from him, and Boba Gido coming around the final corner to win Division A Round 1 in the NRL Season 6, with the corner finishing in an excellent P2 and Cyrus Nicky grabbing the last step on the podium, with Wade coming home in P4. Josh Moment will come home in P5 ahead of Rusty Maggots with a valiant effort finishing in P6, with PhD Lyric just finishing in front of the Kai for P7 and P8, and Banana in P9. VIP almost podium will or should claim a top 10 position. And it looks like J-Dog wasn't close enough to challenge him. He will finish in P11 with VIP left to pass in P12. Felmora coming around the last turn now. He will finish in 13th position, and Oak will finish in 14th. But Tati, what a fantastic race that was. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, that top 5 or 6 race got incredible towards the end there. Well done to Rusty for, doing what he could. It's too bad about that penalty there. I think he should have maybe defended against Josh Moment in those last couple of corners. Why not? Nothing to lose. But ultimately did end up getting P6 for his efforts with the strat. Shout out to all the other drivers. Man, bad luck for the Kai, though. He ran a great race that had ups and downs, and unfortunately his last down came too late in the race.
Yeah, indeed, it did. And well, I will get your thoughts as well, T-Case, in a moment, but let's just give you the provisional race results from Division A, Saturday round 1, and an excellent victory goes to FAF Boba Gido, who must be very, very happy with himself after quite an emotional roller coaster, it seems. P2 went to the Crawler, who made up positions. That is an excellent finish for him, with VIP Cyrus Nicky getting that last elusive podium or last step on the podium in P3. So we'll get the thoughts of the top 3 drivers very, very shortly. But FAF Wade, unfortunately, only good enough to get P4, 7/10 of a second down on Cyrus Nicky, with BHR Josh Moment grabbing an excellent P5 for him. Rusty Maggots, well, that was a valiant effort from him, trying something completely different. And it's a shame the tyres didn't last a bit longer, but 6th position he must be very happy with. PhD Lyric finishes in P7. The Kai, a bit disappointed for him. He could only grab a P8. P9 went to PhD Banana with a top 10 finish for VIP almost podium. Then it was BHR J-Dog in P11. Then 12th went to VIP left to pass you. In 13th position was Felmora, and at the back of the grid, unfortunately, was Oak. He did get the fastest lap time, but that will come to no avail because he finished outside of the top 10. But yeah, TKs, what are your thoughts on that race? I mean, a little bit crazy, right?
A bit. No, that was incredible, and to that point of the fastest lap, Oak took an extra pit stop so he could steal that fastest lap point away from Josh Moment. Josh Moment was on track to get that extra point, and Oak took an extra pit stop there at the end and took it away. So while Oak didn't get any points, he made sure nobody else got it either, which I like that strategy.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, no, I mean, look, very technical circuit. High tire wear. The track can be very greasy, and it certainly did catch out even the best of drivers. So very unlucky there from Oak there. But yeah, certainly. I'm just emotionally very tired. I think Tati, that was ridiculous, that race. I think.
I loved it because the sentiment when the race was revealed from a lot of drivers was, oh, great, another GR3 El Lago Maggiore race. But I think they forget, just like NRL drivers and the competition that it breeds will always breed something that will make excitement. And in this case, it was an alternate strategy in the form of Rusty just trying to see what he could do, starting in this mid pack with like nowhere to really go against all these great drivers. And then, of course, just drivers pushing themselves and the limit to the max, causing chaos on their own. I love this race, and I love that it was so emotional, because people thought it was going to be boring. Glad to like shove it in their face, be like, no, excitement.
Well, I just want to add to that: the NRL is never boring.
Never.
But yeah, we have actually got the top three drivers in our interview booth. So we're going to come to, is it third place we're coming to first? Yes. Okay. So our third place finisher was Cyrus Nicky GT. Cyrus, great to have you back in the interview room. You salvaged a third place finish for yourself. How are you feeling after that?
Oh, yep, that was incredible. It's good to be back. It's great to have the opportunity to chat with you and TKs and Tati. So that's what I was racing for, just to kind of for the podium to have a chance to talk to you guys. But that was exciting. That was a fun race. Feeling pretty good. The qualifying, I don't know, I kind of messed it up. I feel like I could have done a bit better, but it was a fun race. No, it was great. Everybody did a fantastic job.
So, obviously, the philosophy really is like, yes, you want to do well in qualifying, you want to start well in the race, but qualifying isn't everything, right? It's what you do in the time frame of the race. So, from the position that you started, I mean, was there like a strategy that you practiced, and did you like change it up for the race from where you started, or did you just go with what you practiced?
No, that's a great question. Actually, no, I basically went with the strategy that worked for me, because when we were practicing, right off the bat, I knew that mediums worked the best for me, because for some reason, I'm probably not the last person to be a tire whisperer, because lap 5 and 6, every single time my tires were gone. So I was scrubbing the tires too much. So there was no way for me to do 11 or maybe 12 laps on the mediums and then jump on the softs. So for me, was just put consistent laps, medium. During practice, early in the week, kind of went to the pits at the end of lap 7, but then soon found out, okay, you know what, lap 8 is probably the best for me. And as long as going into it, based on my qualifying and practice, I mean, I was putting in 57.1s, 57.2. I'm like, you know what, that might be good enough for P3. So I'm like, you know what, doesn't matter if I start P3 or even P8, I was always going to stick to the same strategy and just try to stick as close as I can to the front, the top 2, 3, or 4 drivers, and just short shifting it. So I didn't have to fuel. So there was one point in the race where I think Crawler and Babajidu pitted, and Crawler was up like 2-3 seconds, but then when we came out, I was right behind him, because I think he had to just touch up on the fuel a little bit. But yeah, going into it, I knew exactly what my strategy was, and I didn't change it at all. No.
Okay, no, that's fair. And I guess my last question to you is: so, was you quite surprised that anyone tried the no stopper, let alone Rusty Maggots? Because you said about how the tires burnt down very, very quickly. And how do you think that affected your race as well? Because it was a bit of a scramble towards the end.
Yeah, that was. I didn't think anybody would try it. Actually, I thought if one person was gonna try, it would be Babajito. You know, he's got always like these outside of the box, like really good strategy. But I was surprised, but I was like, oh wow, because I tried it once during practice. Literally by lap 13, like my front two tires were completely red. So for me, it wouldn't work. But I'm like, I'm sure somebody here on the grid is a tire whisperer and they can pull it. But yeah, it got a little bit hectic and crazy out there. But just try to, just wait in the back a little bit, let it unfold, and try to pounce when possible.
Well, that I do know of you because I've had the pleasure of commentating on your races for a while now, and there's never a dull race when you're involved, Cyrus. So congratulations on a great performance from you. I was trying to save the more exciting questions, I think, for Tati and TK's. I'll come to Tati first. Tati, have you got any questions for our third place finisher?
Yeah, sure. Cyrus, good to talk to you. I feel like it's been a little bit since I've seen you talk to you on the podium. I don't know
Yeah.
how accurate that is, so it's great to see you in here. I'll be honest, like you weren't on my radar at all this race until lap 9 when I noticed, the VIP racers driving together. Um, and then, so to see you end up on the podium in third place is amazing. Hearing how your strategy worked out, that it was mediums for you, and that you felt like you had the pace to make it happen. It sounds like you just ran what was for you as perfect a race as possible because you executed your strategy, you made it work. Can we expect to see more podiums from you this season? It feels like the competition is stiff.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, last year I think all the three races I finished P4, so I kept missing the podium,
Yeah,
and but
P4 and
this
like P7. Yeah, I don't think we
yeah
saw you on the
P4
podium.
yeah, so it's always kept messing it. But this year I don't know, it's really tough. Honestly, I was telling almost podium when we were practicing. I'm like, I feel like I for the qualifying for this race I could qualify either P1 or P8, anywhere in between. So like the top 8, top 9, it's just everyone's quick. Like, I mean, and when you see in Division B, you got like quick drivers, like Nuke and Digital Relay, like they were all in Division A last year. Like, that's how it's just amazing. The competition is unbelievable. And I'm honestly, as always, I've said it before, I'm truly honored to be part of this league, McNaughty, and then just kind of hearing you guys' voice and it just makes the race so exciting. It makes our driving look better even, with you guys' commentary.
Oh, thank you. Well, thank you for coming in and congratulations. I hope to see you
Thank
again
you.
this season.
Yeah, thank you.
And lastly, TK, your thoughts, because I'm sure you got quite a few thoughts and questions towards Cyrus Nicky, sorry.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations, Mr. Cyrus Nicky. That was a fantastic job moving up from P5 onto the podium there, making it exciting all the way through. Well done. No questions. You answered everything, just talking about what you went through out there with your strategy and everything. So I just want to say thank you. It's great to have you back, man, and congratulations.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And again, great job to all the drivers. This was a very unique combination, and you don't see this track reversed too often in the dailies. So it was exciting. So thank you, McNaughty. Thank you, everybody.
No, thank you, Cyrus, because, as I mentioned, there's never a dull race when you're around. And certainly that was a great way to kick off Season 6 for Division A. So congratulations on on your performance, on your third place finish, and really look forward to seeing how you get on in round 2. And of course, stick around to the end of the broadcast because maybe it'll be a combo for you.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I just hope it's not rally.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
But so hopefully but we'll see. But yeah, I'm excited. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Cyrus. You take care.
Okay, take care. Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye. Okay, and then on to our second place finisher, of course, making his debut in the NRL for the league phase. We have VIP the Crawler that finished in an excellent second position. How are you feeling after that?
Hey, so before I answer your question, I'd like to give a little shout out to Mr. McNaughty for hosting such an awesome league and giving us all the opportunity to compete in a clean and competitive space, and as well as to all the NRL broadcasters for taking the time out of your day to broadcast and provide some great entertainment with commentary for the viewers to watch. I'd also like to give big shout outs to my fellow competitors, the FAF crew and BHR crews, for allowing open spaces to practice in their lobbies, as well as Jorge Sr. and Wid and Hako and Nakai for, setting the bar high for all of us to, strive for, to get an idea of where we need to push. And lastly, I'd like to give a shout out to all my VIP teammates, especially Cyrus and APOD, Left to Pass You, Throttle Heist, AGT, Rowdy Burns, JP Scale, Dwayne, and Playa for putting time in the lab on working on finding the proper serum to, be the most competitive in this race today. But yeah, man, that race was intense. This is my first league I've ever competed in Gran Turismo. I was sweating so much towards the last 3 ends of the laps that sweat was dripping down into my eyes. So I was like trying to blink my eyes as fast as possible to clear it out. It felt like I was swimming in a pool with my eyes open, underwater and stuff. It was just burning. But man, what a race. What a freaking battle, with the Kai and Bobajito. There was a moment that Kai had made like a small little error trying to battle with Bobajito, and I was like, yes, 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 let it happen. I'm gonna slide on by. But the Kai is such a great driver that he was able to save his car and get back on. And I feel like he was trying to give me a little bit of space to come underneath him. And I was like, nah, man, it's all right. You got this pace. I'm just going to follow you, regain that momentum, and, let's see what we can do. So, man, Bobajito is a scientist with that fuel strategy, though. My God, Cyrus was in line.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, I mean, this race was full of surprises. Like we already knew that we had top drivers in this lineup, but I know that a lot of the talk was about the Friday drivers, where we were talking about like Hawko, the reigning. The former champion, with the being the reigning champion, and then of course quite a few drivers, showing their class as well, and their fight. But certainly in this race, I think a lot of you guys in Division A for Saturday have really made a name for yourself, because that was some very, very close, intense, fair racing. You spoke about sweating in the cockpit, but even us commentators, we were sweating in our chairs. It was really gripping stuff, and really like so exciting. Edge of your seat stuff. You spoke about the what was his name, Rusty Maggots, who he performed a bit of a miracle there, trying to perform the no stopper. As Bobajito was struggling to get past, what was your thinking then? Did your eyes light up and think, do you know what, I can maybe get the race lead here?
Yeah, so when I had the Kai in front of me and Bobajito, and there was another car, I was like, who the is this guy? In like a Conor McGregor voice in my head while in the race. And I'm like, is this like a fishtail flash? Like, is this guy pulling off a no pit strategy? My God. So I just knew from in the very beginning of the race, I had to change my tire strategy up because of some battling going on. I had a lot of tire degradation and everything. So when I realized that this racer was, trying to go for the long haul, I was like, oh, his tires have got to be, going off. So it's only a moment of time, for my opportunity to, fly by if possible. And, if it wasn't for for his strategy and him pretty much, being an obstacle for Bobajito and Nakai, I don't think some of the battling would have been as close between the top three. I think there would be a little bit more of a gap. But yeah, I was so surprised. I was, pretty pumped up about it. And then my conscience kicked in and I was like, all right, just focus on your lines, focus on your break points, because stuff is about to pop off here pretty soon if people get aggressive with the passing. So.
Well, I mean, you performed heroically. You did what you needed to do, and you grabbed an excellent second position. So, congratulations on second position, the crawler, and an absolute pleasure to meet you in the commentary booth as well, or the interview room. And yeah, I'm sure that Tati and TKs have got a lot of questions to throw your way. So I'm going to go to TKs first and ask if you've got any questions and your thoughts towards the crawler.
Yeah, DeCarlo, great job. Excellent P2. That was fantastic. Well done. We heard from Cyrus, and I know you guys did a lot of practicing together, but did you at any point consider those soft tires? We saw a few drivers switch on to the softs and it worked out for them. What was your thought process on those tires?
Yeah, it was my main strategy because when me and my teammates were, practicing in the lab to find the best optimal strategy, Cyrus's strength was running the mediums and my strength was running the medium softs. But because of the early battling and the dirty air that I was having to deal with in the race, my tires degraded faster than the norm from when we were practicing. And I was just like rolling the dice, like which strategy should I go with? Which strategy would be the best for me to like maintain and stay consistent? And I just ended up, going with the medium strategy after being able to catch back up with Bobajito going into the pits. But the only difference between him going into the pits and me going into the pits, because it was pretty much on his bumper, was I had to expend more fuel getting up to him after, getting by his teammate and then getting stuck behind Kai trying to recover his car and everything. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go with the safe strategy for myself instead of trying to push hard, because the most important factor is just getting these points to have an opportunity to make the finale. So I ended up swapping for the medium tires.
Awesome. Great to hear, and congratulations again.
Thank you.
And lastly, Tati, any questions or thoughts towards the crawler's performance today?
Yeah, sorry about that noise, by the way. Just a moment ago, I thought I was muting. The crawler, I don't have any questions. I just want to big you up. Honestly, the hype has not been unwarranted. You came in the pre-quali, you beat your split. You were one of the few people to break the 39 barrier, so we knew you were somebody to watch in this season. Obviously, getting P2 round one is a statement. And I saw your little dive and your pass on the Kai lap 14. So my eyes are on you. I want to see more of you on this podium. You seem like such a character. Please come back.
Awesome. I'll try my best.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, and just a final quick question. Any particular sort of cars you're looking for round two?
Oh man, so I do the dailies a lot. I'm pretty well known in the American region for running with the pretty strong with the GR4 class. The GR3 class, I'm not as strong in my opinion, but that's because I just haven't put as much focus towards the GR3 class. So I would say like my favorite class of car to run is the GR4 because it allows for closer battles and practicing with elbows out on the track and stuff like that. And also with street cars, like I like running just the regular street cars and feeling the actual transfer of the weight distribution going in the turns and stuff like that, because it's I feel like it's more noticeable with the street cars than it is with the actual race cars, because they got the whole setups and everything going on with them. But yeah, I'm right there with Cyrus. Hako, is a buddy of mine, and he's the king of rally. So good. I wish all the competitors and his split, some strength, and to go ahead and then try to slow him down, or do whatever you can to pull an Alonso in the defense out there on the track. But I do not look forward to rally. I have never practiced rally. The only time I've done rally is in-game stuff, trying to accomplish and gain some credits and stuff. But I would say GR4 and street, then GR3 for me.
Okay, well, fingers crossed that one of them combos do come up. I do remember, I'm pretty sure we haven't had Fiat 500s in NRL before, so, maybe that could be a thing. But no, honestly, the Crawler, it was a fantastic performance from you, and you should be really proud of yourself in your debut race for the NRL. And yeah, we're really looking forward to seeing how you get on throughout this season. Yeah, best of luck to you.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Take care.
Yeah, take care of yourself, the Crawler. Bye-bye. And finally to our race victor, it was FAF Bobagito with an absolutely faultless race, grabbed himself the race victory. How's it feel to be the first victor in Season 6 for Division A Saturday? Yeah, I had to get that in.
Hey, good afternoon. Yeah, it feels great to get the first NRL win there. Tried a lot last season, couldn't quite get there, and first time out, got it. So good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you performed heroics there, and us in the commentary booth, we was a little bit worried for you because you had some serious pace at the start, and you pulled a little bit of a gap for the race lead, and then of course no one anticipated that Rusty Maggots was going to try the nose stopper. So although you closed the gap so quickly to him, then it seemed like you got stuck behind him. So how worried was you at that point, thinking I really need to get past him now?
Very worried. I was at a pretty good gap between the person behind me, and I caught Rusty, and I thought he was giving me a couple looks, like not defending the inside, and then so I tried to take it a couple times, but he wasn't. He was just kind of taking the wide inside line. I mean, he was running a great race, and shout out to him for pulling that off. I mean, he did a great job, and I just couldn't get around him because I didn't want to knock him, when I dive bombing him or anything. And so I just kind of had to be patient, wait for his tires to wear off completely, which I knew they would, and he wouldn't be able to take those turns where I could. And finally got around him, created a little space because he held up the person behind me. I think it was Takai or DeCrawler, and allowed me to get a little bit of a gap and maintain it the rest of the race. But yeah, it was exciting.
It certainly was. I mean, not that we don't want you to win or anything like that, because you obviously still brought home the race victory, but it certainly did close up the grid, and it was certainly a great sort of ending to the race. But yeah, just the final question really was, before I hand it over to Tati and TK, because I'm sure they've got a lot of questions, but so how much, so being stuck behind Rusty Maggots and being in that dirty air, how much did it affect your tires?
It wasn't that bad. I'll be honest. The hardest part was I just switched to VR a couple weeks ago, and it's a different picture when you're driving behind somebody that close, and you can't see the lines, and so I couldn't stay as close as I wanted because I had to keep backing off to make sure I didn't get a penalty with some of those real fast corners and stuff. So that was the tough part. But yeah, just sitting there waiting for him to completely wear off his tires and me get by was kind of lucky.
Fair play. Well, you certainly made it work, and it was a great performance from you. So fully deserved race victory. Tassie, I'd be interested to know what your thoughts are and any questions that you can throw at Bobajido.
Yeah, hey Bubba. Thanks for switching to Saturdays. How are you?
Hey, great. Thank you.
Yeah. Way to get your first win. I guess all it took was this swap here. I'm glad to see a podium caliber driver coming from the Friday splits into Saturday because we did lose one or two last week, or sorry, from last season. So I'm just happy to see you here. You ran a great race. I think that Rusty gave you fits for a little bit, but I can see what kind of a driver you are. You were just clean. You were very patient, and ultimately it worked out. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you, Ty. Appreciate you.
Yep.
And lastly, T-Case, any questions or thoughts?
Yeah, Bobajido, man, that was awesome. Gotten to know you a little bit through all these leagues and lobbies and stuff, and it's fun to see you guys coming out strong. I am curious, where did the FAF come from? It's a little bit of a change up from what we're used to from you guys.
Yeah, it's a new team we just started. Cornbread Racing was kind of like a regional thing. People from around the Corn Belt and in the middle of the country, and well, we ended up having multiple people internationally on our team now. So we got a couple people from UK, we got someone from Argentina, and so just kind of rebranded and made it more international.
That's awesome. Well, it's great to have you guys here. I love watching y'all race. Again, congratulations. At any point, were you hesitant on your strategy, or were you pretty solid through and through?
So even if I would have started on pole, I was going to go medium. I was dead set on it. I practiced all the different strats, and I was just so confident in the medium just for the racing, knowing that there'd be people around that you'd have to race. And if you had softs on at any point in time at that, which you would, whether you were trying to get away from people, the pack, or if you were in the back trying to come back through the field at the end, you're just going to lose your softs. If you're running by yourself, softs was fine. But yeah, I was dead set on the mediums.
So, man,
and also, I fuel saved the entire race too. So from right after the first couple turns, I was in fuel save mode the entire time because I knew that would save me multiple seconds in the pit. As you could see, the crawler had to take a little splash, and it set him back a little bit. But yeah, good job to VIP, to Crawler and Cyrus for getting up there on the podium, and everybody else for a good race today. And thanks for the commentators and NRL. Great stuff. And oh, by the way, the Crawler and Cyrus, I guess, the Crawler's new, but he needs to learn not to say things that he doesn't like rally in and stuff like that. Because now McNaughty's just going to go and make our next race a rally race. So.
McNaughty has changed the whole thing up. It was all set in stone. Now it's all changed.
Yeah. Thanks, TK.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. You know McNaughty way too well. Yeah. He can be a little bit evil like that, I think. But I was going to ask, actually, was there any kind of cars that you was hoping for? I mean, obviously, getting the race victory today.
The split, the breakup of all the races. Everything's new usually. Like it's not something that people run in dailies or the other leagues and stuff that are pretty common, GR3s or GR4s. I mean, this was a GR3, but it's not a GR3 car that people ride because it's just not the good GTR. And then so I love the league just because of that. It's mix up and get a lot of different looks at a lot of different stuff.
Yes, indeed. Well, we'll look forward to what the combos are at the end of the broadcast. But Bobajido, congratulations on the race victory. Great performance from you. And we definitely look forward to seeing how you get on in round 2 in a couple of weeks' time.
Appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Hopefully talk to you next week.
Yeah. Cheers, mate. Bye-bye. Okay, so that is the driver interviews done from Division A for round 1 of season 6 in the NRL. However, don't go anywhere because we are going to go for a short break. So we will round off the provisional Division A standings, plus what you've all been waiting for, the race combos for our second round for Saturday Division A and B. So go for a poo. We'll see you in 2. Welcome back, everyone, to the final part of this broadcast. Hopefully you're ready for what's to come. But before we get into it, a huge thank you to DGDR, Dumb Guys Do Racing, Henke's Tavern, Little J, CPA, Lithograph Comics, and Mist Chronicles for all their support throughout Season 6 of the NRL. But shall we reveal the provisional standings for Division A after one round? TK, if you can read us through the standings, please.
Absolutely. As we look at Division A Saturday standings, in first place with a whopping 30 points, we have FAF Bobajito. In P2, DeCrawler with 23 points. In P3, VIP Cyrus Nikki GT with 20 points. Then we have FAF Wade in P4 with 17 points. BHR Josh Moman in P5 with 15 points. Rusty Maggots in P6 with 13 points. Then with 9 points, we have the Kai in P7. Lyric in P8 with 9 points. Banana 7 points in P9. VIP Almost Podium in P10 with 6 points. Oak in P11 with 5 points. BHR J-Dog in P12 with 3 points, along with VIP Left to Pass with 3 points, and Felmora also with 3 points.
Thank you, T-Case. Okay, so the exciting part now, what's in store for the Saturday drivers in our season? In round 2 of our Saturday races. So, shall we take a look at what's in store for Division B?
Yes.
Okay, well, I think we already know what this one is. So it is Deep Forest Raceway, reverse, that is. So a little bit of a different dynamic there. And the drivers will be using the Toyota GR Supra race car 2019. So there is going to be a 10-minute qualifier ahead of a 21-lap race here at the Deep Forest Raceway Reverse. It's going to be a grid start with a full start check, with the balance of power enabled, with just the brake balance allowed to be tweaked. The tyre wear is going to be ×4 with a fuel consumption rate at ×3. The refueling speed will be 3 litres a second, so pretty slow there. And of course, a damage set to heavy. Now, it looks like there is no tyres required for this one. However, the available tyres are going to be the racing softs and the racing medium tyres. So Tarsi, looking at this combo, what are your thoughts?
It's going to be a tough one. Deep Forest is definitely a favorite, and I think it flows pretty well in reverse as well. Excuse me. It's a great track for GR3 cars, so the Supra works well here too. I think for me, the difficulty for these drivers will be in A, keeping those tires up under them, of course, and B, the narrow sections, the S's, you know, they're very tight, and as we've seen, we get kind of tight racing in lobby B. So drivers are gonna have to be careful, gonna have to work to, you know, learn how to race door to door, basically, and not ruin each other's races over here. It's not a very forgiving track either. There are walls everywhere. You feel like you're just in this open forest, but the walls are close here.
Yes, they certainly are, and I mean, I'm pretty sure this car is still lightning fast down the straights. But yeah, TKs, what kind of race do you anticipate ahead of this one?
Oh, it's going to be a close one, and I think these drivers are going to put in a lot of practice to kind of piggyback off what Tati was saying. Like, with heavy damage on and the walls ever present, it's going to be a really challenge, because you're going to want to try to go side by side through that middle sector, but it can just go really bad really quick. So I expect to see a lot of practice, which we have already seen already from these drivers, and a big difference here for Division B, going from the RAV4s to the Group 3 Supra. So I like that McNaughty is keeping them on their toes with this combo.
Yeah, they certainly are. I mean, normally a fan's favorite, but for me personally, I love the normal way round. The reverse, that hairpin really normally catches me out, and particularly the last sort of couple of corners of the lap as well. Yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting race, and yeah, they've got a couple of weeks to practice that one. But what is coming up for Division A, I wonder? Oh, okay. So we are at the Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps for this round 2 race of Division A Saturday. And of course, you can hear the laughs in the background, because of you would have seen and noticed the car that they'll be using. It's the Roadster Shop Rampage car, with this 10-minute qualifier to start ahead of the 17-lap race we have at Spa. Now, tyre wear is going to be ×9 with a fuel consumption rate at ×1. The refueling rate is 10 litres a second, so a very fast refueling speed. Damage is set to heavy, but with the sports softs and the sports medium tyres available, nothing is required. I do wonder whether or not there could be a hint of rain on the horizon, looking at the weather slots. Yeah, TKs, what are your thoughts on this combination?
This is fantastic. I like this. Spa's one of my favorite tracks. I've driven this car before. It can be a bit of a handful, and yeah, we're seeing R3, R4, R2, R4, then random. So yeah, I would suspect some rain gets sprinkled in there a little bit, and I don't think I've driven this car at Spa, so I'm curious to see what this does going up Eau Rouge and Radeon, if it's a flat out beast, or if they're gonna kind of have to feather the throttle a little bit.
Yeah, indeed. And Tassie, so not your usual car. Have you got any experience in this car, and what are your thoughts on this combo?
I've never even heard of this car. I'm not gonna lie. I just had to quickly look it up to see, and it was confirmed that it's got the LS7, the big 7-liter boy. So rain in this thing, no wonder it's sports tires. You're gonna need all the tread that you can get. This race is gonna be crazy. But I know our Division A drivers are not only going to be able to tame this car, they're actually going to give us good close racing in this, and that's what's wild about that. I'm spinning, and I'm not even going to race, so I don't know how. I just know that they're going to pull it off. I can't wait. I cannot wait.
Yeah, indeed. Well, Minulti, definitely full of surprises, and let's hope that the Division A drivers are happy with this combo. I'm pretty sure they're going to have to do a fair bit of practice. But yeah, upcoming, don't miss what's next. So so 2 weeks time then. So on Friday, the 17th of October at 8:30 p.m. will be the turn of the Friday drivers for round 2 in their respective divisions. So make sure you do go and check out and give all the support that Toon, Slow-Mo, and whether it's Hovercraft or Leo will be hosting for that one. And then of course us in the Saturday rounds will be the 18th of October on the Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern time. So make sure you don't miss out on these races, and also as well, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. It would be much appreciated, and hit that like button if you've enjoyed what you've seen from us today. It will be much appreciated. But yeah, final thoughts on round 1. I mean, it definitely threw up quite a number of surprises, I think, Tessie.
Yeah, both in race B and race A. Race B had this, unknown element or unexpected element of having lap traffic, which did affect the race. But on top of it, just being a squirrely car that moves around a lot, even as slow as it was. That was a really fun one with lots of positional changes. Division A race, we don't even have to talk about. That was intense. We're all exhausted. We're done with it, and then next week looks like it's going to be even crazier. Or not next week, in a couple weeks from now. I can't wait.
Yes, indeed. And actually, a question I should have maybe thrown out there first as well. Who is your driver of the day, Tessie?
Ooh, it's got to be Mr. Racing, because 9th to 2nd in Division B, and then it's like your first race. I mean, what a statement, right? So big opening statements by 2 debutantes actually this week, so that's amazing.
Yeah, good call there. Good call. In the T case as well, who is your driver of the day, and your final thoughts from Saturday round 1?
Yeah, well, I was gonna say Mr. Racing as well, as I really enjoy watching that happen there. It was really good, but I could also, I mean, it's an easy one, but so impressive from Bo Bagito with the fuel saving. He dropped back after being on pole, but fought back and won the race. So got to go with that one there. And as far as the racing goes, I mean, it's NRL. What did we expect? Like, it's going to be good every single time. It doesn't matter what the combo looks like on paper when you have this caliber of drivers. Plus a good combo, you're just in for a treat. So great stuff. I'm so happy for everyone who got to participate today, and thought it went really well.
Yeah, I agree with everything you've said today. What a way to open up the Saturday Division A and B for the NRL Season 6. So yeah, thank you so much from the thoughts of Tassie and TK's, as well as everyone that has watched and supported the channel today, and also the Fridays as well. And the only thing I can really say is that now Saturday round 1 is wrapped up. So it has been a fantastic opener today, and we hope to see you in 2 weeks' time, which I'm sure will just be as enthralling as it has been today. So make sure you tune in then. But until then, it's a goodbye from T-Case.
Later, y'all.
And it's a goodbye from Tati.
See you later, but I have one last thing to say. McNaughty giving these guys 2 weeks to practice is insane.
And yeah, it's certainly a goodbye from me. So stay safe out there. Have a great break, and we'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Bye-bye for now.